Welcome to the South Gawler Oval. We're here for the first game of the season in the Barossa Light and Gawler Football League, and this will be our historic first year out here covering the competition. We're very much looking forward to it. Covering the big game today, South Gawler and the Angaston Football Club. I welcome a legend out here in the Barossa area. We've got Matty Knight. And we've also got joining us today the president of the Angaston Footy Club, Keith Jamison. He'll be with us. And also from the city, Sean Jackson. Now, Jacko's coached a lot in the city at a few league clubs, and he's also coached a lot of amateur league clubs, and also the state amateurs in the city and against Victoria, and had a fair bit of success. So welcome, gentlemen.
Thanks, Luke.
Thank you, mate. It's good to be on board for 2019, and not sure about legend. That'll be self-proclaimed again, like most things that I do. But no, we've got a good match first up here. Two teams with some big recruits in for 2019.
Yes, and what a cracking day we've got for footy too. It's for those who aren't lucky enough to be here. Slight breeze going down one end, but sun shining. Sides both looking in good shape, so
Oval's superb, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to the battle in the ruck, I've got to say, and it's great to be back in the country. Luke, I did cut my teeth coaching in the Riverland, so I'm familiar.
Loxton North.
Yeah, familiar with country footy, and great to be back and see all the cars parked around the oval.
Oh, there'd be a couple of thousand people. It's just great, isn't it? The crowds that you don't get. And that's not being unkind. You just don't get that in the city at ordinary games.
Yeah. Well, it's reminiscent of South Adelaide, isn't it, now, with the cars parked around the oval down at Noarlunga?
Oh, it's a community event. You know, they've got all the netball being played here, and the girls are going around with their parents, and they start at 8:30 in the morning, and there's 5 grades of footy here: 13s, 17s, 13s, 15s, 17s reserves, and seniors. You know, that's a big day.
Yeah, it's a big day. You know, most grounds as well, you'll get your 2 teams of 9s, 2 11s as well included in that. So where teams have 2 ovals, so a lot of people around. I think it's a lot of it's to do as well. You got your netball played at the same time, so
it's great.
It's a great atmosphere, and you know, those people, they go to netball and then jump over to the footy and watch, and so it makes for a good atmosphere around the games as well. So you look here, it's got all the cars around the oval, and all the boys under the bar in the pavilion as well. So they'll get very rowdy in probably, I reckon, 30 minutes or so.
I'm really looking forward to the debut of both coaches today. Both sides having first-year coaches, so it'll be interesting to see what influence Jay Shannon in his first year of coaching at Angaston has been able to have, and obviously they're the talk of the town in terms of their recruiting. And if my eyes deceive me, is that Chappie coming across?
Who's
Gavin
that?
Chaplin? 'Tis too. It's Gavin Chaplin, assistant coach for the South Gawler footy
He was at
side.
Salisbury North last year.
Yep. Is that right?
There you go.
Chappie,
I don't know what their moves were assistant was. I know Dan Kirrick was assistant, but yeah, it is Gavin. It is the 2 assistant coaches for South at Dan Kirrick.
Oh,
Gavin
Mark Brandt was here last year. The man Branty.
Yeah, he's got to travel a bit more for work this year. I know they want him to do the job again. Brazza, a great man he is. So,
Brazza well.
Yeah, so he's got to travel more with work. So no doubt he'll be down here. Probably having a couple of mid-strengths today, no doubt.
So a little bit of a Central District's influence from the side for both sides, and Gavin Chaplin having played a fair bit of footy at Centrals, and Mullet McGrath being the assistant coach out at Angaston. So look forward to see how they're able to influence 2 new coaches.
Yeah, I think also with 2 playing coaches, with Shannon and Osborne, they're going to have good bench coaches, and they got that with guys like Chappie on the bench.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely.
First year coaches, it's going to be hard enough playing and coaching. So
yeah, it's good to have. You need someone that you can rely on the bench, so that'll be great. But looking at these 2 midfields and talking about Central Districts, there's a couple of players in this game that have been down at that level. Paddy White, the latest inclusion to South, who's come back from Centrals after doing a full pre-season there. Come back last week after he moved down from Darwin, playing in the NT Thunder last year. So he's straight on the ball today.
Some top quality players out there.
Yeah, well, we're about to get underway, and we've got the 2 quality ruckmen, starting with Borheim versus Osborne in the ruck. Ex-Sturt, next Woodville West Tone ruckman.
Steve Summerton straight away gets a kick.
Yep, nothing different there.
inside 50. Looks like Nick White with the ball for South.
Rather difficult with the jumpers, isn't it, today, picking them up?
Yeah.
There's some talk about getting a clash strip, so it might be on the agenda come next season, absolutely.
Well, for someone viewing the game for the first time, I have got no idea.
It's rather difficult.
So we got Dom Costanzo, South's big recruit this year with the ball at half-back on the outer side. It's long down the line to the 2 rucks. Looks like it's going to go out of bounds. We'll have a throw in.
Osborne.
Big boy, isn't he, Big Osborne?
He's a massive man.
Yeah.
204 centimetres, I think is what they said. So.
Yeah, he makes Borholm look small, if that's possible, although Borholm looks like he'll be carrying a few Ken Cunninghams there.
Yeah.
He's met Jack a few weeks ago and shook my hand and nearly broke it. So he's got massive hands. We've got a ball up here.
You wouldn't find anywhere in Adelaide today 2 ruckmen of that quality up against one another, you'd think.
Yeah.
No,
both sides setting up one-on-one forward of the ball, which is interesting, and both sides running with a sweeper at the restarts. So we should see a lot of good, and that's a beautiful long kick into the forward line. Oh,
big kick from Costanzo. Whitwer on the end of one early here. He's got the bounce.
Oh, at the post.
Post with a toe poke there.
Very clever player, Josh Whitwer.
He'll do some classy things today. He just asked me before where the cameras are set up, so I think he's planning to try and get a goal from this flank.
Gets onto that left boot, and he's a handful.
That's it.
Well done.
Very good from the 0-pointer back from Central Districts there for Angaston and Ryan Carnelli as well. So he's been a big boost for them in terms of getting a couple of locals back from town. So he's set up at half-back at the start by the looks.
Bit of holding there on Summerton.
Yes.
Good hands again by Summerton. Oh, poor kick.
that's Jay Shannon, the playing coach, with the footy in his hand.
Yeah.
Yep. Looks like he's trimmed up a bit since last time I've seen him.
Well, if you're going to lead, you better lead by example.
Whoa!
Arch with the footy.
Oh, there was one, just a little one off the ball there.
Right.
Just Reece Sutton with it right in front of us here, lads. Going inside 50 for South. Goes to Aldridge.
Mr. Osborne might have wore one in the choppers there, I think.
Ooh. Jack O'Dare takes it out of bounds with Angaston skipper Jack Miles as well, boys. Yeah, it looked like they hit him a couple of times hard.
It was a good one, yeah.
Might be a plan.
Probably didn't expect to see that.
Jackson Press roved off the one. Is he bend it? He's
got it.
He's kicked it on the right boot. Nice little bender for Pressy, so he'll be happy to get one away early.
Who was that, mate?
That was Jackson Press.
Okay.
Torrens player.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Is his third year, I think, at the club, isn't it?
Third year at the club. He's an absolute star. He's down with the Crows reserves this year as well, so he's done a big pre-season down there, and he's probably looking fitter than he did last year, if all possible.
Yeah,
Just on our scoreboard, it's South Gawler 117 to Ango yet to score.
Yeah, I reckon he probably left West Torrens 1 year too early. A lot of players left the year he left, and I reckon if he'd hung around, he might have found himself playing a bit more regular senior footy. Jackson, he's a beauty.
You had a bit of time there yourself, mate, playing and coaching.
Yep, certainly before his time.
Yeah.
Balls go up again. No,
Ooh,
out
free
there.
kick.
Press got the high one again. That's Rusker, who has gotten him high. We'll have a free
Silly free kick.
Yeah, didn't need to do that. Both teams, everyone's pushing forward here as well.
I know.
Straight to Paddy White as well.
He's getting a bit of the footy.
Yeah, he'll rack him up all day, Paddy. The only issue with him is his skills, which has probably held him back from playing league footy down at SANFL level. But he'll run all day. He's one of the fittest blokes you'll ever meet.
Misses targets and that, does he? Or?
Yeah, he's probably suited to country footy. Just get the ball and kick long.
Okay.
So they probably don't like that as much down at that level.
Really impressed with the work rate of Jackson Preston. He had 2 kicks in the middle of the ground.
Dave,
handball. So he's had 3 possessions in that field. That last 2 minutes of play is instrumental in that goal. So
the big fella Dave Aldridge there, crumbing his own work and snapping one over the head for South second.
They're looking good, South.
They are. He certainly sent the challenge out nice and early to the strong midfield of Angaston, and we'll talk about Steve Summerton, Jay Shannon. They're going to have to do something. Keep an eye on Jackson Press.
So who was that? Who got the second one?
That was Dave Aldridge then.
Okay.
So, yeah, big fella. He's one that's. Well, I was only talking earlier. Saw a photo of him last week in his shorts. He looks like had to go up a couple of sizes. So I think he's taken that on board this week. Got Costanzo, who's been wrapped up by his good mate Rusker. Good tackle from Rusker, who's also back to the club for Angaston.
Looks like South Gawler are running a tag on Steve Summerlin at the restarts.
Yeah, they've been on him since the start there. They've been scragging him a bit there at the stoppages.
Yep.
Yeah, so it's actually a name, so Henry Benninson, so I don't know much about him, unfortunately. I know most of the South lineup, but yeah, don't know much about him.
You don't tend to send your profile players to tag?
Nah, but I'm just saying he is a 3-point player, so I'm not sure where he's come from or what his resume is, but he seems to be doing a good job already. Jackson Dare gets caught holding the ball there.
It's been all South Gawler, hasn't it? And very little breeze to speak of, so they haven't got the breeze they're kicking with. So.
Died off from before play, I would have thought.
Yep. The playing coach gets a kick out of the back lines towards the boundary line, the ball trickles out, and we have a restart in the middle of the ground. South Gawler 2 goals, 1, Angaston yet to score.
Haven't even seen it go down there Angaston's half yet, so
no.
Good start from South.
Free kick.
In the back.
Straight in the back. It was Whitwer on veteran Craig Harvey for Angaston there.
Oh, he's been around for a long time, hasn't he, Craig Harvey? Yeah.
Absolutely. He's got the ball at half back here.
Scrub a little kick.
Straight to Costanzo there for South.
Yeah, switches the play beautifully into the corridor.
Got players on in the middle of the field. Good lead. Oh, at 45.
There's Jackson Press again, isn't it?
That is Pressy again. Daniel
Free
Golden
kick.
Caught without the footy.
Good on both sides of the body. Press left foot kick.
Yeah, beautiful kick. Whitwer.
Yeah.
Another one that's good on both sides of the body.
That might be enough.
Oh.
Coach was under it.
Yeah. Got to put your hands up, big fella, if you want to mark them. It's hard to mark them if you don't put your hands in the air.
So it's South Gawler 2-2-14. Ango yet to score. Into a slight breeze. I was saying that before. There's little breeze. There's a slight breeze.
Yeah, only light, and good to see for South as well. The big name players they're the ones that are really doing the grunt work for them. Whitwer, Costanzo, Press, and of course the coach Osborne as well.
Yeah, nice take off hands.
Good work from Angaston. Going to take the ball into the forward line for probably the first time in the game.
Just about. Skipper Chris James for South with a handball there at centre half back. Out to Brodie Hudson. Gets her hands away but turns the footy over. Looks like that Benison for South has been wrapped up by Bornholm. A couple of big tackles by Bornholm early, I thought.
Yeah, it has been.
Follow-up work's been really good.
Yep, and pleased the shape of Brodie Hudson too. He looks like he's in pretty good nick.
Yeah, last time I saw him, he didn't look as fluent in his movement.
Yeah, he's doing some ruck work and playing back, I think.
Yeah, he was one last year watching the couple of games that I watched the South. He probably looked like he struggled to move, but he certainly, watching him on the track this year, he's trimmed up and moving a hell of a lot better.
Summerton. Good kick. Ango going forward. Oh, good mark there in the forward pocket. Going to be a good kick though to score from there. Score a goal, that is.
Difficult angle. Let's hope he's not a left footer.
No, be a bit tough. He's shaping to get on that right side with the kick around the body. Who is it over there, Matty? It's very hard to call today with the players' jumpers.
Shocking kick. It would have been either Lauke or Popotny. Would have thought. He's going to dish out to Harvey. Harvey puts it in the hot zone. Daniel Golding from South Gawler gone up someone's back. Contested footy, a bit of a scrimmage at the moment. Looks like, is that Bornholm trying to push his way through there? No.
No, it's a
He's coming in now.
Someone no, Shannon.
For those, when you do watch the replay, you'll see how difficult it is to call with everyone wearing a blue Guernsey.
Yeah, it's certainly not this. And they're at the far end to us as well, so it's a little bit harder. Dom Costanzo again with a massive kick for South out to Washington.
Play.
Turned over. He's hit up Craig Harvey, the veteran. He'll have a shot.
He's had a few touches of the footy too, the veteran.
He's looked very good, Craig. So, no, obviously a big part of Angaston's lineup for a long time. So.
South playing a bit of a press. They've only got a few players forward to centre.
Yeah, it looks like Osborne and Hudson are changing deep forward in the ruck and splitting the time. So he certainly presents a pretty big target if they can get the ball forward to him. Big Jack Osborne, doesn't he?
First goal to Ango, so good goal to Craig Harvey's been a very good player so far in the first quarter. So just go to the scoreboard. It's the Flight Centre scoreboard, and it's 2-2-14 to South Gawler, and to Ango 1 goal 6. So 8 points of difference.
Just something I'm noticing with these two teams as well that you don't see a lot of in Barossa footy is using the star power midfields on the bench as well. So actually rotating them through, keeping them fresh. Usually just run them out the whole game.
Yep. Well, that's the current the way kids like to be played now. Even the good players, he probably come straight out of the SNFL Samo for 10 or 12 years, and he would have been used to getting rested at some stage.
And it is a warm day. Would it be 23, 24 degrees? I mean, you know, it is a bit warm.
Yeah, thank God we got the shade on us. I'd be burnt to a crisp otherwise.
Oh, it's absolutely superb day for footy, isn't it, really? You know.
Having said that, I don't think I've seen Jay Shannon make his way to the bench as the playing coach.
No.
She's running the troops from on ground.
Yeah, some people love to play.
There's young Riley Argent there with a nice handball out for Angaston.
Any relation to Peter, or?
Not that I'm aware of.
No?
No, none at all. We've got to throw in at half forward on the far side for Angaston.
Game taking a little bit of time to evolve. It's just quite hasn't evolved yet. No big fluent plays yet.
First game of the year, takes a while to settle down, feel each other out a little bit. That's like what's happening at the moment. As I said earlier on, from a tactical perspective, looks like both sides are running one-on-one, which is good to see. We'll see if that continues, if the breeze picks up.
Just watching at the stoppage here in Benison, who's tagging Summerton by the looks, and Craig Harvey trying to get involved and just push him off there.
Bit of block.
Yeah,
and you
might be working well.
Are they playing a 6-6-6 out here?
No. So that rule hasn't been brought in.
There are a few competitions that are and a few that aren't. It's hard to know which ones that are. So.
Yeah. I don't mind the rule, to be honest, whether it works in country footy or not. But yeah, I like definitely seeing the rule at AFL at level now.
Angaston moving the ball forward, getting to half forward. Well, yeah, good mark there to South Gawler there.
Tyler Lee there. Clayton Cameron with the ball for South. Fresh off his B-grade cricket premiership, so I don't know how many sessions he's got out in the pre-season.
Kick, big turnover. A nice sell of the pup, and then finishes
beautiful goal.
Number 34 for Angaston, which is Dylan Tuckwell. Interestingly enough, it does look like Angaston do have a loose at the moment in Thomas Ryan playing back unaccountable, so it'll be interesting to see if that's just a case of his man having pushed up the ground and him rolling back as a sweeper, so we'll keep an eye on that for you. Yeah, Tommy's the one they will usually try to get free. He's got a beautiful left boot. Again, spent quite a bit of time down at Central Districts, but was just riddled with injury, so he's got a beautiful left boot, and he'll be the one that they'll try to get loose if they have a loose.
Have they got a +1 there now?
They haven't at the moment.
No.
But he
looks
was.
Like him and Jack O'Dare are going head to head, so there'll be two blokes that'll just run their separate ways, I would have thought.
Yep, waxing.
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, if you want to get paid the big bucks, make sure you give your opposition some money to look after you.
That's good. Paddy White with another clearance. I reckon that's 2 or 3 from him.
Good defensive work there from Angaston.
Jay Shannon slips a beautiful handball, releasing the wingman.
Free kick off the ball, you'd think.
Free kick, Paddy. 2 blokes that would have played a bit of footy together.
Great contest in there, Samo. Beautiful release handball.
Some big boys out there.
Some very big boys. One that's Ryan Carnelli's been very impressive.
Yeah, he's managed to get on the outside nicely. You can see why he plays on the wing. He's able to release himself into some space, isn't he?
I'm surprised how big they are, Jacko. Is there a couple of big boys out on both sides, isn't there?
Yeah, there are a couple of big boys.
He's still only young. I reckon he'd be only 21 as well, so plenty of footy ahead of him.
So we've got a ball up in the middle of the ground. Looks pretty much like one-on-one. Once again, very confusing trying to pick up players because of the two similar Guernseys. Brody Hudson clears it away. And as I said, really impressed with the Nick Brody Hudson's in. He's certainly been doing some work since the last time I saw him.
Big blinker on, gets the ball out, and they switch the play and heading out now, Angaston.
Jake Hood.
come back inboard. Good kick. Finds number 32, Sturdy Frasky into the midfield.
Starting to have an influence on the game, although that wasn't the greatest kick going forward and it's been turned over.
Kicked it straight. I think he's kicked it straight to Cooper's Oval. Those two boys, not Cooper.
Bailey's Oval.
Bailey's Oval.
Yep.
Cooper's his younger brother. So those two, Steve Rusker and Cooper, I believe that Bailey. Sorry, they spent a bit of time up in the NT playing footy over the pre-season. Could have even been in the same team. So
both sides are actually missing a few targets by foot. One that caused the turnover for Angaston, second goal too. So they're not quite hitting their targets early.
Sorry, Jacko.
You're right. No, I was going to say certainly we've had a couple go out on the fall, but it looks to me like Angaston are playing a bit faster game than what South Gawler are doing at the moment. South Gawler seem to be kick and catch, whereas Angaston seem to be gun and run. So it will be interesting to see how that pans out.
Yeah, with the skills as well, like I said to you before, the wind's actually a bit deceiving from here to what it's like out there. And going one way, you can tend to kick a mongrels and kick quite a few out on the full, getting held up in that wind. It's a lot stronger than you think.
Yep.
Also, first game of the year too, the skills are a little bit down. It takes 2 or 3 games to get going, doesn't it?
Absolutely.
In saying that, South Gawler, started the game with the first 2 goals and they're going with the win. Angaston are now having a shot for goal, and if they kick this, they'll go in front into the breeze. So they've resurrected the last 10 minutes. Angus. And
got it.
Is that the coach?
Yep, Jay Shannon.
Yep.
There you go. His first one on the board for his new team.
So
no, it's a point.
Point, is it?
Yeah.
God, they celebrated hard.
Yeah, they did.
So I think I mucked that up. So Angaston at the moment 2 goals, 1.
I think it's 2-2 apiece, isn't it?
2-1 Angaston,
2-1,
2-2
no.
South Gawler.
Goal umpire Steve Rolton down there as well. We'll ask him about that after the game. He's never wrong, he reckons. So does a good job.
You name an umpire, whoever thinks they're wrong.
Yeah, exactly right. Jackson Press with another free kick just in front of us here, in front of the benches.
Yeah, best on ground at this early stage.
Been really good, hasn't he?
Jackson, yep.
Looked very good between him and Paddy White. They've looked.
Harvey's been good for Angaston, and the Jackson Press for South Gawler both been really good.
Yeah, turn the ball over poorly here though.
He's been good though. Big blinker on in defence, keep post.
Glenn Kyron, is that his name?
Glenn Kyron, yep, that's it.
Big Matthew, he's a big boy, isn't he?
Yeah, big boy. Big fullback, centre half back.
Just looks like you're going to have a ball up here, almost in the centre. Got Angus Adams, who's the second ruck for Angaston, going up against Osborne at the moment. And they found a free kick.
Tough free kick, holding the ball against...
he was the only one who wanted it, wasn't it?
Yeah, Darcy Judd-Smith, a little handball out to Costanzo again, who's been big. Aldridge just dropped the mark. Jack Miles, the captain for Angaston, is going to clean up. South with the ball again here. Washington to Costanzo. Costanzo's another one that's had plenty of it earlier.
Yeah. Happy to bring the ball backwards too before they go forward. South Gawler done it quite effectively a few times.
Not many switches. I've been waiting for a few switches to happen and come down the other side of the ground, but that hasn't happened yet.
Yeah, you probably don't see it a whole lot. Whether it's something that they pull in later once they get into gear, but there's a lot more down the line footy in the Barossa, that's for sure. We're going to throw in on the outer wing.
We've got a time clock here, have we? No time clock.
No. Wait a minute. We will have in the second quarter.
Right. You'll get your mobile phone working.
No. I've actually got one, but yeah. The first game of the year, we'll all get a bit wishy-washy.
Paddy White bursting out another pack there is probably lucky not to be done holding the ball, to be perfectly honest. Rusker with the ball in the middle.
Had a bit of it, hasn't he?
He's had plenty, yes. Very good user as well, usually. It's gone out to Lauke. He turns it over to Nick White, South Gawler's defence there.
And a great switch of play, which Luke has been looking for from South Gawler. Sees
Costanzo
out in the far half-back flank, kick long now down the line, and a good contest. Means the ball's been forced out of bounds, and we're going to have a restart.
Yeah, he's been
almost in the middle of the ground.
He's been very impressive again, having a bit of a dash and 2 bounces there, Costanzo. So Very good pickup as the umpire just has to slip under the car to kick the ball up and throw it in.
Where did he come from, Costanzo?
Yeah, so he'd spent all his juniors down at Central Districts, only 22.
Yep.
Ended up at Kapunda and up to South Clare for a year and managed to get to South Gawler this year with a few mates. As he's on the end of one here again, goes long inside 50. Whitwer in a one-on-one. Oh, he's ducked, not given high. Handball out. In the far pocket, it'll be a ball up. Very scrappy there.
A little bit unlucky. He was certainly making the ball his objective, but did duck his head on the second tackle. Good umpiring.
Did, yeah. I like to see them not given once they drop the knees. Just 19, Owen Prout as well, a new player to South. Don't know much about. They've tried to claim a mark. They've been told to play on.
Yeah.
Tommy Ryan with a handball out there. He's got it back here. Another handball, but he turns it over to Benenson.
I'm going to say the players are as confused with the Guernseys as what we are.
There's been a lot of turnovers early. His Ruska's got it out in front of us, Jacko.
Yeah, no, he's been good. His last 10 minutes have been exceptional. I'd like to see him run and carry a little bit more, but he's certainly finding the footy. Held up beautifully though by
Young Brockies.
South Gawler at the moment, holding the ball in well.
Goes to the second ruck in Adams. He'll go short again. Gets it to Jackson Ryan. He's just held up here.
Be deep into time on, you'd think.
There wouldn't be long left. Goes backwards and short to Ruska, so it looks like they might just be holding the footy up here. Here's that switch you've been looking for.
Yep. South Gawler's defensive press there was worked a treat. They've been able to hold the ball, lock it in their forward line until that last switch of play from that fella we talked about being the loose player.
Very good,
left
Tommy Ryan there.
Yeah. That's why the switch is so important, to be able to come up, go out one side of the ground, you know. So
now they're coming back this way.
Again.
They got Carnelli right on the boundary here. They've gone from one side back to the other, back to this side. Inside 50. It's a turnover. The coach of South Osborne with the ball. Beautiful kick to Jackson Dare, centre half back.
Ryan Cunley's also been good this quarter.
He's been fantastic, absolutely.
Been a few good players, Ruskria and Cunley and Harvey for Angaston, and of course Jackson Press for South Gawler.
We don't have a name for number 24 for Angaston on my sheet. Little fella.
24.
34 it is, I beg your pardon. Dylan Tuckwell, yep.
Tuckwell.
Set that up nicely.
Looks like we're going to have Ryan King.
We'll have Jamo joining us in the second quarter and give us an insight into Angaston.
Jamo getting the sandwiches and the beers. A bit early for the beers, Jamo. Let's concentrate on the job at hand. Seems to be a little bit of confusion, a little bit of a kerfuffle going on. It's
Bornholm and White.
Yeah, just making his presence felt. The big former Woodville West Torrens big man.
Paddy White, one of the nicest blokes you'll meet. Couldn't say a bad word about anyone, but he crosses the white line, turns into an absolute psycho.
Yeah.
So he's very, very entertaining character, lead singer of a band actually as well.
Okay,
so,
give him a plug.
Yeah,
are they not
off kilter, mate. So a few of the boys will be happy to get a bit of plug there.
Off kilter.
Yeah, he moved to Darwin and got the sack, but I know he's been back practicing with him now. So all well and good.
It's good to have your local knowledge, mate. A bit of banter about the boys.
Get it not in there to get us free tickets into the next show to see off kilter.
That's it. It's Jackson Press. Probably lucky not to get done holding the ball there.
Yeah, an ugly 2 minutes of footy there, really, wasn't it? No outside being able to move the ball with any real fluency.
No.
Jackals Miles as well. Angaston captain just letting Press know about it. Unfortunately, he's given away a free kick. So Press with the ball on the outer wing. Goes short to Washington. Washington plays on. He'll go long here. Inside 50. Who's there? Crummers at the front. It's all Angaston at the moment. Angaston walked away with it.
Yeah, worked the ball out beautifully. Although that was a terrific tackle, and it resulted in holding the ball to Summer, was it?
No, it was young Riley Argent. It was Washington that got him there. So it's a good couple of minutes. They go long to the hot spot. Crummers coming through. Nathan Barch. Oh,
You're gone.
Chicken legs Barch.
A few good tackles there.
They don't give you much time up here to get rid of the footy, do they?
This is another switch.
Someone in a Rusker there. Oh, it's just going to be a throw in.
Rusker's had a lot of the footy. Might be in double digits already, I would have thought.
Yeah, South Gawler are going to have to put a little bit of attention in Rusker. He's the go-to player coming out of the back half, isn't he? He's been able to get his hands on the ball. And having said that, there hasn't been a lot of result from his touches, but he has been getting it. At some stage, he looks like he's going to get pretty dangerous.
Yeah, I think they've obviously gone to Summerton hard, and so that's allowing Rusker to sort of be that outlet. But
they've had 1 and 2 on Summerton. It hasn't had a huge influence, but in saying that, Rusker has, because they've let him run free.
Entertaining quarter of footy, a little bit of biffo between the two sides without anything. Yeah, a bit of feeling.
Skills not great, missing some targets, but you expect that. As you said, Sean, just feeling each other out early.
Yep. Yeah, so at quarter time, the scores are South Gawler 2-2, Angaston 2-1. So 1 point the difference, and as we mentioned, there is a slight breeze that South Gawler had use of in the first quarter, so it'll be interesting to see what Angaston are able to do and whether they change anything at quarter time.
Yeah, no, they South very good for the first probably 10-15 there, and then Angaston sort of worked into the game and took over control, but no, I think it's going to make for a cracking contest, that's for sure.
Yeah, probably expected to see a little bit of more of Big Borehome, to be honest with you. That ruck duel, I guess he's up against two, isn't he? Has he got any relief, Big Marcus? Has he got anyone else giving him a hand?
Yeah, they threw, they had 21 Angus Adams going through there as well as second ruck, sort of just coming off the bench, so he probably relieved him there for the last, 10 minutes or so. Did a pretty good job as well, going up against Osborne and whatnot, and got a few kicks around the ground and whatnot.
Well, better players, Sean, that you can see for maybe for Angaston or South Gawler?
Yeah, I'm probably not a great judge given that a lot of the names aren't jumping out at me, but certainly the guys that we spoke about before the game that have come into the league have certainly made their impact felt pretty quickly. For South Gawler, Jackson Press obviously had a really purple patch in that first quarter. Would have had probably 10 to a dozen touches, I would have thought. Brodie Hudson and Jack Osborne handling the ruck duties and key forward, even though none of them have taken a clunk up forward, they're certainly providing a bit of presence up there.
Dominic Costanzo is having a bit of the footy.
Yeah, he's been nice out of the back line. He seems to be able to get on the end of it and set him up. And Josh Whitworth's had his moments, kicked 2 points in the first quarter. Just hasn't been able to nail one.
Patrick White's done all right.
Yep.
Paddy White's had it, yeah. He's had
90 Angaston for you?
Yeah, Angaston, they've, that Ryan Carnelli, a young fellow, I think 2021 on the wing really here in front of us. He's really impressive. I wasn't sure just quite how good he was, but he's impressed me massively. They've done a pretty good job on Summerton, I thought, South, but
they have.
He's still probably had his 6 or 7 kicks. And Steve Rusker for South has probably been the one. The most dominant, he would, like you said, been in double digits with the figures as well.
Harvey's been all right, and I thought Blinkeron in the back half's been quite solid as well.
Jay Shannon in his first game as a playing coach has had an influence as well, and it's as we talked about before, it's difficult in your first game ever as a playing coach to get your head around being a good player as well as a coach. He's got to have complete trust in. And McGrath, and have the confidence to let him run it, and he can just concentrate on playing his game. He looks like he's adapted to that pretty well. So
pretty tough though, isn't it? You got your first game. You're worried about your own game and your own form, and the team's form, and all the players around his form. And there's be a lot going through his head, I would have thought.
Absolutely, first crack at it. I guess he would have had a couple of trials, but the secret to it is to when he's out on the ground, he's got to be a player. He's not a coach, and that's the difference. You've got to be able to understand and separate the two if he's going to be an effective player coach.
And you did it as a player and coach?
Yeah, I had 5 years as a playing coach, and as I said, it took a while. And my advice to both the boys playing coaching is...
be a player first?
Yeah, absolutely. Get yourself some good support, and they've both done that, so well done. They've both got good bench coaches, but they've then got to be able to switch off the coaching while they're playing. That's the art.
Did you have the runner come to you about moves? You just left it to your bench coaches to make everything.
Yep, don't want to see that. I remember watching a game in the Shepparton League. There was a bloke who used to play for Central Districts in their golden era. I can't think of his name. He used to play in the midfield as a sweeper. And it was his first game as a player coach, and I watched him continually calling for the runner. I caught up with him for a beer afterwards and said, mate, can I just give you some advice? You just can't coach while you're playing out on the ground. Might be a bit different if you're playing full forward or full back. And in Jack Osborne's case, he is going forward, so he might be able to do a little bit from there.
Quarter time, did you used to say anything? Or?
Yeah, absolutely. Yep. You're still the coach at quarter at the breaks. Yep. But Jay Shannon, he cannot be calling for the runner during the game.
It's just interesting how you would do that as a playing coach. I haven't seen it too often in all my life. I've never seen too many playing coaches. So I'm just seeing how you would. You've been in that spot, so why not ask someone who's done it?
Yeah, well, the Barossa is interesting in that they've obviously gone down that track, haven't they? There's a lot of playing coaches in the Barossa League.
With the points and the salary caps and all those sorts of things. So.
Yep.
Yeah, that's.
And now we're going to welcome the president of the Angaston Footy Club, Keith Jamieson. Welcome, Keith. How are you, mate?
Well, thanks, and congratulations to Luke and the boys for bringing this innovation to the BLG.
Thanks for having us, mate. You were brilliant last year in last year's grand final.
Yep. As long as your mates from Kilburn aren't here, everything should be all right.
No, they were a disgrace, weren't they?
They are a disgrace.
Andrew Graham and Scott Galbraith, eh?
Bloody Galbraith.
Hey?
Scott Galbraith, there you go. As the second quarter starts here, Dom Costanzo with an early one as well. Just go straight to Cameron for South here. He's got the ball in the middle.
What do you think first quarter, Jamo, from an Ango point of view?
Well, with the recruiting that both teams have done, it was always going to be an even game. Be interesting to see whether one team can get some momentum. Hopefully it'll be Angaston, of course, we'll be barracking for them, but I think at the moment, looking at them, they are two evenly matched sides.
Yeah, we've got an arm wrestle on our hands at the moment, that's for sure.
A lot of moving the ball around and keeping possession, and Angaston coach highlighted that at his quarter time address. He said, be careful of letting let them hold the ball. You've got to bring up on them. But Angaston obviously are doing the same thing as we saw here late in the last quarter when they had about 20 possessions.
Yeah, and Ryan Carnelli having a nice touch there to the first minute of the quarter. We spoke about him at quarter time. He looks like a young lad who's going to find his way as a good senior footballer as he unfolds.
Yeah, Alex Reinke having the kick here for Angaston.
Beautiful kick.
A good long kick of the ball.
Hasn't got the distance.
Oh,
hadn't got the distance. And as
he's got a good build too. There's a few big boys out there, good size.
Luke would know, he's Williston DNA in him.
Okay.
Yeah, he's got a bit of Turner in him. So Knighty would have known that anyway.
I didn't. I'll take your word for it, Jamo. It's going to be 15 by the looks. 15 or 25 our penalty out here, Jamo?
Well, it's supposed to be 25, but the penalties I've seen today, I've got no idea.
That's a long one.
Yeah, I like to buy land off these umpires.
It's Costanzo's got the ball at half back for South here. He's going to go wide to press.
Found his target in press.
Well, he sold the candy to Harvey.
Yeah, what I like about him, he takes the game on at every opportunity.
Carnelli again.
He's not going to die wondering.
No, that's it. It's Cameron over it for South here. Darcy Judd-Smith with the ball. He lost it.
He's gone.
Jake Hood.
Yep. The umpire called it.
Is that called ball?
Jake
Hood followed up.
Somebody in there with the tackle, was
it? Jakey Hood.
Jake Hood?
Yeah, so he followed up his own work there, which was really good.
Good kick.
Nice kick.
Just put out wide to Lauki.
There's that switch.
Played on quickly and unfortunately just missed.
There's that quick switch though and open up play, and probably should have done a little bit better there. There was no one under no pressure really.
And Jamo, obviously the off season you brought, you got the big names there, but a couple of lads that you brought back to the club as well from downtown, Ryan Carnelli and Ryder Eberhard as well.
Yep, just like having recruits, and of course they're the right age in their early 20s. And Stevie Ruska's returned to us from Minman in Tara Manura. So it's great to have that. So that's another 3 players added to the list, and all quality players.
Gawler.
Yeah, absolutely. As the footy's right in front of us here, very hot footy.
Yeah, good pressure by Angaston there.
Looks like they're going to have a shot.
Dylan Tuckwell again, is it? Yep.
Tuckwell,
had a bit of it.
Player.
Tuckwell was the thing. He's playing as a small forward, pressure forward maybe.
Bornholm off the deck.
Off the deck.
Off the deck. So we go to the Flight Centre scoreboard, and it's Angaston 2 goals 4-16 and South Gawler 2-2-14. So a couple of points in it, and just nearly 4 minutes into the second quarter at South Gawler Oval.
Well, that's definitely the scoring end, and has been all day, even though the breeze isn't that strong and it's blowing into that forward pocket, but certainly been the scoring end. And this is what the coach of Angaston spoke about, the short kick.
Looks like Angaston playing a 15-man zone from the kick-ins, and once again it's proved very effective. South Gawler unable to get the ball over the centre line.
Rusker
really
again.
Good defensive setup by Angaston.
He's been good, Jamo, for you, Rusker?
Oh, absolute superstar. As Nighty said before, he played off-season in Darwin for the Crocs. They didn't win the premiership, but he didn't get a game in the premiership either, so not too sure what happened there, but he's kept himself fit, and he looks after himself, and he's very accomplished with the ball.
Good defensive mark. Was that Patrick White, is it?
No, that was Dave Aldred there.
Okay, big fella.
Big fella, and Angaston skipper on the end of that, and Jack Miles as well. Harvey gets
Carnelli again.
Tuckwell on the left, bullets in. Looks like that ball's going to be out of bounds. I was just watching the two number 2s, Carnelli and Washington. Just a bit of push and shove before. It looked like Washo, I know him pretty well, it looks like he might have just had a bit of a crack at Carnelli about his tat sleeve by the looks. So, bit of off the ball banter starting already.
That's a bit cruel. How sensitive these footballers are.
Summoning
around the corner. That's a beautiful goal.
Actually, that's gone through.
Shows his class, doesn't he?
Yep.
How the ball was travelling through the air, you couldn't have guessed where it was actually going to end up, could you?
It's a beautiful tap from Marcus Borholm. They set him up, put him into space. He was able to swing the ball around his body, but a beautiful bit of ruck work there from Borholm.
And what happened today, Jamo? Couldn't get the reversible jumpers or the away strips ready, or?
It's a long story.
Okay.
Keep it short.
We've had ours longer than they've had theirs.
Oh.
So we're not sure why the BLG allowed them to change to those Guernseys. They do have an away strip, which they use when they play at home. We're looking at it. We'll probably invest in it, but
for half time, maybe, Jamo?
No.
Blue and white and blue.
I don't think. I think it's not a bad decision for all clubs to have. To be perfectly honest, you see it most around the comps now. When some teams in our comp now do that as well. So it's not just Angaston South, but I think it's not a bad thing to look at across the board.
Yeah, another cost to the club though, but I believe Freeling's bringing in.
You can buy reversible Guernseys now.
Yep, no, we looked at that, and that's probably the way we'll go. This
young
is
fella,
Riley Argent.
Guys, we talked about the influence of the two ruckmen at quarter time. Certainly Marcus Borholm has stepped up his game in the first 6 or 7 minutes. He's covering the ground. The beautiful pass out of the centre of the ground. He set up the last goal. He's having a real influence on the game in the last 5-6 minutes.
Fairly quiet in that first quarter.
Yep.
These two would have gone against each other a few times.
They would have, yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
Just goes on the screens.
That's Osborne
with the ball.
His own work in the Torrey.
And the barrel, if you don't mind.
Over the back of the pack. Miles' first sees held by one arm by Jackson Dare, is it? He gets it out to Ryan. Ryan paddles in front of him. Tackle, ball's spilled clear again, but now the big pack should be on it. Tipped out the back to Blinkine. Blinkine can't get a free handball's on the boundary line. Can't see anything with the coaching staff in front of it. Fired out long and low, and right in front of the broadcast point, Steve Rusker takes a mark on his knees. Looking for the free kick, I think.
Leather poisoning Shannon Rusker at the moment. He's going to have an injection at half time. Wheels around on the right foot, puts it to the hot spot. Oh, Borholm.
I reckon.
He has, yeah.
Osborne forced under the ball there, so it's a bit clever play by the forwards.
Yeah, we're really seeing a good contest between the two ruckmen at the moment, both as in the key forward spot and in the ruck. Big Osborne wins that one though, palms it down nicely. Oh, was high.
Can you hear through the...
Somebody thrown out. Jay Shannon, will he get the free kick for that? No.
Looks like they'll go again.
Yeah, it's a little bit congested around the ball here. Both sides probably need to try and open. Well, certainly Angaston need to try and open that forward line up a little bit if they can.
Certainly the AFL
game stepped up a bit, hadn't it, this quarter?
Whitway with the ball. He goes to the dribbler.
Yeah, intelligent kick that. Oh, it didn't quite get there though.
Mark that.
That was cap
Oh, it has.
Fantastic
Very good
mark.
grab.
Fantastic mark taken. Not paid by the umpire. May have been blindsided, but he's
We probably had a
infuriated
better
the
view
crowd.
of it.
Umpire Dave McGree there. I think this could be him doing his first A-grade game. Coach of Barossa District
And
last
last.
year in the twos. Costanzo gets a clearance, but looks like it's going to be out in the full.
And the
Doki just
the
racking up another
400-game
toucher.
veteran can't catch him.
Really impressed with the two halfback flankers for Angaston, Thomas Ryan and Jack Miles, having a real influence on the game in the back half, aren't they?
Oh, it slipped out the
There's
back.
Shannon just round the body.
Jay Shannon kicks
Only
his
seen
first
him-
goal in the Angaston colours.
Only seen him play a couple of trial games, but he does like to kick a goal.
Can celebrate.
And how did you
Jamo,
get hold of Jay this year, mate?
Well, recruiting's an interesting process. That's all I can say. Is we thought we had a coach. Obviously, with the salary cap, a lot of clubs are now going towards a playing coach because it gives you an extra marquee player. And we were looking around and approached Shannon to play for us when we thought we had a playing coach. The playing coach we were looking at decided not to. Actually went to Darwin, and Jay said, well, I'd always had aspirations to coach. So I did a couple of interviews and come on board, and he's really fell into the role. He's almost born to it, the way he talked and conducted himself the pre-season. There was no sort of nervous Nellies with not knowing what to do as a coach at training.
As Nathan Barch for South takes the footy inside 50. Looks like this might trickle out of bounds. It's press on it. He's kept it in press. Still inside 50. It's Tom Ryan for Angaston. He's been a rock down there so far in this game. Carnelli with the footy turns over. Whit was going to pick it up on the 50 mark. He spins around as a shot. He's going to miss.
Now, you mentioned Josh before. Josh actually was an Angaston player at one stage. He came to us as a youngster, but Central Districts picked him up before he could get a game with us. But we cleared him to South this year. What good blokes we are.
On your jammer.
And him and Rusk are thick as thieves.
Good mates. Yeah, and Costanzo's in that mix as well with those two, with Rusk and that. So, and they've all started very, very well in this game, so you can see the star quality.
Throw it in the middle of the ground.
Paddy White with another kick.
Paddy White.
Beautiful kick out
Across
space.
The half forward
out the
line.
fat side.
It's going to be Jack O'Dare, South Gawler vice captain. Got a nice little multi on the footy last night, so
Tiddy.
beers might be on him after this. Yeah, I think a nice little 1,100. What was it? Little 100.
I'm not sure you should be
multis.
broadcasting this. How'd you go then, Nighty?
Shocking. Went all right last night, and I've gone no good today. Got Bracco standing over us here. He's given a couple of tips that are going no good. So
That's a very good kick from about the 50-metre mark. Who was that again? The vice captain.
that was vice captain Jackson Dare, ex-captain,
Nice kick.
current vice captain. So he struggled through last year, had a lot of issues with his groins and whatnot. So had a full pre-season this year and looking extremely fit.
Scoreboard Angaston 4-4 to South Gawler 3-3. And how long we got in the quarter, gents?
That's a very, very good question, and unfortunately I can't give you a very, very good answer. So once again, the two big blokes in the middle going up against each other. Brady Hudson doesn't look like he's going on the ball at all at this stage of this quarter.
Yeah,
Big Jack palms the ball beautifully backwards, but
warm day, so you can't imagine the two big fellas will go the whole journey.
no. Neither side able to clear. We've got another restart, bang in the middle of the ground.
Both got hands of the ball, but Osborne possibly the best, but it's wrapped up again. The pack's descended on the ball up.
It was working pretty hard in the middle of the ground without being able to get it out, but the big ruckman, Jack
throws it on the boot.
Osborne's cleared the ball. Done that a couple of times from clearances, hasn't he?
And he's got a fair leg from a
Doesn't
standing
need a
start.
rover. He'll play one rover short. Oh, courage from the captain, coach Jay Shannon, and go back
Yeah,
to the
the
fly
whipper.
of the ball.
Whit were classy read off that one.
Yeah, he's got some genuine speed, hasn't he?
As goes deep inside. Looks like could be Jackson Dare again here.
Free kick, I think.
Uh,
It is.
Chopping in the arms.
Meetings with them, and this is what is the spear.
He goes short to Whitwer, who now after cricket training oh no, they're going to take it back. I've seen him kick a couple from that spot, Whitwer. So Jacko might have to have the shot now. Get
Almost the identical spot on the other side of the ground from where he kicked the last one. So I'm saying the angle not going to be a problem from
There's
here.
a bit of breeze right to left.
Oh,
Ooh, not that much.
come back.
commentator's curse. Lucky to score a point, Jackson.
The whistle's getting blown. What have they called it? Out in the full have they called it?
And hard to see through training.
Rusty got the ball, top of the
Rusty.
square, caught holding the ball. Really nasty turnover.
That's
Yeah,
young
Dazed him.
18-year-old Brock
Always
Judd Smith as well, who's got him there. Young 18-year-old, so he'll
Good
have a
tackle,
shot.
yep.
Always dangerous coming back into the corridor from.
First year of senior
Half-back.
footy, is it?
To be second year, I
I
reckon.
played last year, I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure.
So he was sort of in and out last year and ended up, was it a broken leg or something like along those lines that put him out of a bit of footy.
Well, he's lining up from about 25-30 straight in front. Should get this one, I would think. And once again, I've put the commentator's curse on.
And that right to left, he
Apologies
didn't
to
allow
the South
enough.
Gawler Football Club. Not calling any more as they line up
It
now.
makes a difference, exactly one goal.
Jamo made me do it.
Low scoring though, considering the
Yeah, beautiful left
ability
foot
out there.
raking kick out of the... Oh, nice take by the Jay Shannon, the captain coach.
Very hard to pick him on that outside.
he's found. Yep. He's
Got it to
found
Jackson
Jack
Ryan, I think.
Jack
Great
Ryan's
ball
found
Through the half-forward line. And it's
Hood,
probably
who's found Eberhard.
the best passage of footy we've seen today. Ryan Ryder Eberhard going to have a shot 40 metres out, slide angle.
And with the two sides out, we'd expect more of that, really.
Yeah, good transition of play all the way from one end to a shot on goal, and that's the first time I've seen that today. So
Some very good use of the footy there.
we might see that open up as the game unfolds and the players get over their nerves. Ryder looks well, nice and balanced over the ball. Yes.
Slap through.
Very happy with his work there as well, Jacko.
Yep.
Celebrated nice and hard.
We'll have a look at that on the Trimboli Services replay. No replay, Luke. We'll have to work on that.
Next week. Order rush this week.
Very good kick from the young fella there.
Now this isn't the only game Luke's televising today or recording. All four
Yeah,
games, is that right, Luke?
Yeah, all 4 games are being videoed, and we're doing a live stream and a broadcast of one game.
And people can access it where?
Yeah, so there'll be all 4 games will be videoed. One will be normally live streamed each week, and they can get it from our Facebook page at the SA Footballer. And then all games can be viewed straight after that on our YouTube page, and that's at SA Footballer TV. So last year we had 158,000 views of the SA Footballer TV, so a lot of people are watching games, and with this year is going to be live into the Barossa each week, and as we found out, a lot of the hotels in the Barossa and surrounding areas also live streaming it into the pubs on a Saturday afternoon. So
Yep, only
the
good for the
Exchange
game.
and the Old Spot and the Vine Inn
Yep.
and that, so yeah.
It's great work, that's for sure. Hot footy here right in front of
Fires
us.
a handball out to Costanza. Costanza along the Barony line to Clayton Cameron. Cameron fires in towards centre half forward. It's fished out wide. Once again, Patrick White coming through, putting it to the danger point at the point of the square. Bit of a high ball. The players were camped underneath it though, not taken. Angaston should clear out here if they can handle cleanly. Blinkine caught with a ball or retarded? Or ball up?
I think
1 out of
too
3.
high, maybe.
Free
Notice
kick,
Angus Adams has gone in the ruck to give Marcus Boreham a bit of a spell, and he's had a couple of nice touches there. He gives away a fair bit of size
And Boreham
to
goes.
Jack Osborne, but he competes very well, doesn't he?
Boreham goes forward. You notice, and doesn't come off.
It's a free kick to
Yep.
Paddy White here, so I said earlier, I think the reason he hasn't really made it at the high level was probably his skills. So we'll see how he lines up for goal here, Pat. And I reckon there'll be a fair old celebration if he puts this through.
Who did he play for in Darwin?
So he was at Nightcliff and then ended up at the NT Thunder as well.
Righto, but didn't play in Nightcliff's premiership this year.
No, did not.
Beautiful balanced kick there, and looks like the breeze has picked up a bit, and he's kicked straight into the teeth of it, and no problems, went straight through the middle. Great goal to Patrick White.
4-4 to 5-4, 1 goal the difference again. Oval in magnificent condition. Congratulations to whoever's responsible. Is that you, Nighty? You're the curator, are you?
Well, this actually looks shorter and better than it does in cricket season, so I'm a bit annoyed.
Even the pitch looks better.
Yeah, exactly. So it's usually the worst oval to play cricket on. So it's Gawler Council. So yeah, they must have come out and made it look good for round 1.
Very short stint in the ruck by Angus Adams. He's now gone back deep forward, and Borholm's gone back in the ruck after about 3 minutes. So I'm not sure what that's about, whether Big Marcus just needed a quick breather. But once again, I'm enthralled by the duel between Osborne and Borholm.
Just about entering that time on period at 19 minutes and 40 seconds into this second quarter. So about 6 or 7 minutes left.
I reckon that's Paddy.
With the mark, played on. That comes out to Paprotny. Paprotny driving along the wing where he's got a loose Rusker. Rusker able to run short, sharp into Jay Shannon, right half forward. He chips into the pocket.
Borholm probably in range to have a shot. He's done that.
Big swing
and
at the ball.
Looks offline, 1 point.
Umpire Schmidt with the melodrama.
I'm playing on from a kick in here, haven't allowed
Is that
South
a new role
Gawler
for
to set up.
No,
Gee, some risky
been
footy
doing it
there.
for a long time.
Has he?
Yep.
Bailey's oval. Play it on. Switch the play.
Chris James within the back pocket here for South Gawler.
Nice press by Angaston, really making it difficult for South Gawler to clear the ball.
Bornholm had the better spot there on Osborne. He's got the ball to ground. Massive tackle. That far side.
Blake Holmes is a big unit. Across the halfbacks and halfback, is he, Blake Holmes? Oh, it's
No.
That's South.
right.
That's those jumpers.
Yeah.
There's no number 10 listed.
No, number 11, Dave Aldred.
Okay,
Dave
yeah, no,
Aldred.
he's a big unit.
Those shorts are needing to be a couple of sizes bigger, that's for sure.
Yeah.
And this is Alex Reinke. Right leg close to the boundary line, probably the harder kick.
We got Youngie here giving Shannon some advice in front of us. Jamo, what would Youngie's role be?
Youngie's the reserves coach. Assistant
Nice
coach
goal.
Malcolm McGrath is in Sydney, and Reinke's kicked the goal.
Opened up a little bit of a gap now, Angaston, for the first time. It's probably the biggest margin we've seen in the game to this stage. Angaston 6-5 to South Gawler 4-4. Skip away to 13 points.
Yeah, today, of course, is the blue and white cup between Angaston and South Gawler, and the best player on the ground gets the Malcolm McGrath medal.
The mullet, what is it, the mullet?
The mullet, yeah, and they get a free haircut with it. Mullet, of course, coached both clubs. Very successful at South Gawler with 3 premierships, and a stint at Angaston where we didn't get a premiership but played finals, I think, every year he coached, from a side that hadn't played much finals before that. So great coach.
Good to have him back sitting on the bench, no doubt then, Jamo.
Yep, sitting on the bench at Angaston, the perfect fit.
Jack Osborne there, fantastic in following up his own work. Probably stiff not to be a mark to Whitworth, so there was the hands on it. He'll get a ball up inside South 50, directly in front.
Yeah, very clever the way he came from behind and stole it from Blinkhorn.
Aldridge with the tap for South.
Volleyball in there.
Yeah, very, very scrappy. It's going to be wrapped up. We'll have another ball up.
I like the way the umpires have let the game go a little bit. Could have easily given a head high there, but they tend to let the game go a little bit longer here, which is good. Good to see.
Yeah, don't give many free kicks in the Barossa.
Paddy White bursting through the clearance. He's had a shot. He's kicked it, I reckon.
Read it
10
beautifully
cars
off
deep.
Borholm's hands, didn't he?
Yeah, he's just all run and go, Pat. So he's kicked a point, but he'll be hitting double figures by well and truly by now, I would have thought.
And a goal. Don't forget, he did kick a goal.
Yeah, it'll remind me of that later tonight, no doubt.
No, you won't be going to Gawler Central tonight, Nighty.
Well, I'm the social coordinator on the committee at Gawler Centrals, and we got our first social event. I've said I'm not attending. A couple of big weeks, a bit of a premiership hangover from cricket season, Jamo. I've had a few big weeks, so I need to go and take the missus out and spend the night with her. I think otherwise I'm going to be in a bit of trouble.
Does she know your name? Do you remember your name?
Only just, I think.
You got some good mates out here too, mate. They sent me a few beautiful photos of you throughout the summer. They asked me to post them to Facebook. I don't think we'd have a page if we did that.
No, thanks for that, Hosey. Yeah, if they went online, that would have been a nightmare. So
yeah, a couple of you in the shower, mate.
In the shower.
No.
What, selfies?
No.
Yeah.
Selfies.
He was soaping himself up.
Great tackle.
I bet he was.
What?
That'd be after a couple of long nights, no doubt. So, yeah, thanks to the boys. They didn't actually realise that I was working for the company at that stage. So, yeah, they've stitched me up good and proper there. But, no, that's all right. We'll get them back throughout the year.
Ball up in the left back pocket for Angaston, right back pocket, or whatever you want to call it. It's kicked out by Harvey. Comes to Hood.
Very strong Hood in the contest.
Chain of handballs. Can Angaston release somebody?
No left hand there, I think, was the problem.
There's Blinkine.
He's been good today.
Loki can't pick it up. He's tackled by Bailey Zobel, put to the ground. Now the boys are standing up over the ball, and an umpire will move in to bounce it centre half forward for South.
Just on 25 minutes gone.
1 min long left.
Bornholm out.
Perfect kick. It's just worked to Carnelli. He goes inside 50 with a beautiful kick to Eberhard.
Yeah, played a lot of under 18 and seconds footy together at Central Districts.
It's Ryan Everhard, is it? With a V? Oh no, with a B.
Right, Eberhard.
You're not
Ryder Eberhard and Ryan Carnelli.
Eber.
It's not Ever.
Eberhard.
Eberhard.
No, it's not Ever.
Did I say Eberhard?
Have a think about it. Have a think about it at half time, Nighty, and get back to me on Ever, E-V-E-R. E-R. My wife wishes I was Ryan Everhard.
I've got no idea what you're talking about.
Getting worse.
No,
only a point though on this occasion.
Clean living boy, isn't he, Nighty, which is good to see.
Moving Angaston to 6-6.
How about that? I've seen some photos.
I was going to say, we'll warm up into it, Jacko.
South Gawler trailing 4-5. 2 goals won the difference. The short kick out, which
haven't seen much of Jackson Press, although having said that, he just features in this bit of play there.
Yeah,
but
very good in the first quarter, but it has died out.
Quiet this quarter.
Kick to Eberhard. Eberhard spins and turns, and probably a goal South shouldn't have given away.
Yeah, it was a pretty poor kick there from Bailey Zobel, looking to go short to press. Yeah, just turned it over, scrub it to ground, and Angaston made him pay with Eberhard kicking his second.
Yeah, South Gawler just dropped away, I reckon, in this quarter, though, especially in the last 10 minutes. It was probably 3 in a row, maybe, to Angaston, and need a bit of a lift in the midfield. I know it looks like Big Brody Hudson's gone in the ruck now, maybe to change things up a little bit.
Well into time on, according to the timekeeper down there, so an important clearance here, probably for
we're
South
nearly 27 minutes in. It's Angaston 7-6-48, South Gawler 4-5-29, so we've got a 19-point lead, which is substantial in the way the game's been played. Yeah, quiet first quarter, and Angaston opened up a good lead approaching half-time.
Oh, Big Bornholm takes the ball out of the ruck over the top of Brody Hudson like it was a sandwich cleanly, and gets the kick away, and
Harvey.
Once again, Angaston going forward beautifully. Nice bit of play, and once again, Ryan Carnelli.
And as he found,
you'd be delighted, Jamo, wouldn't you, mate? After a couple of lean years there at Ango.
Well, it's only game 1, boys.
It's not even half time, Luke.
It's not even half time of game 1.
I thought you were touted as the premiership favourites this year.
Well, that's only in the media. You can't trust them.
Hey, watch it.
I like
just trying to get a reaction, Jamo.
I've just seen.
Gemma, I like the look of this young lad, Angus Adams. What's his background, mate? Second ruck and deep forward. Strange kicking action, though, I've got to say.
Well, there was a team rule once he wasn't allowed to kick.
Yeah, I can see why.
And had to lay off.
Yep.
Angus, I suppose, is shorter, but he's carried the ruck duties for Angaston for about half a dozen years.
Pretty happy to see this Bornholm walking through the door, was he?
And really hard work ethic on the track and in the game, so it's good to see that he's still in the side and that he's been rewarded. South chipping across the goal line, and Costanza now deep in the pocket. He might find it awkward to beat this press at the moment.
Not sure about Whitwer calling it for it on his head, as he's got Mark Bornholm in vicinity.
And he marks the ball.
Yeah, big mark.
Kicks it long to the young Ryan Carnelli, and he's marked the footy.
He's been very impressive,
Wait for the crowd to fire up under the shelter there. They a bit quiet down there.
Yeah, they'd be a bit disappointed at the moment, I think.
Can't hear
far
anything
away
with
as
the
well.
headphones
It'll be a
on.
matter of time. Just wait for a decision they don't agree with, and we'll hear them.
Any chance they could drop a beer off to us at some stage would be mostly appreciated too.
Carnelli moves in. Looks good off the boot.
It's another goal to Angaston.
Whacked by Angus Adams, and yeah, it is escalating a little bit now. 8-7 to 4-5, and the siren for half-time imminent.
What would that be? Anyone remember the quarter-time scores? Because I would have thought that would probably be 5 goals to Angaston this quarter. Maybe 6
two goals each, it was?
2-3, 2-2, wasn't it? Something or other.
Yep,
correct. 6 goals to 2. We talked about the impact of the wind. Angaston have the breeze at the back this quarter and certainly made the most of it, haven't they?
They have, and you would imagine that it'll die down as the day goes on.
Okay.
It seems to funnel out of that tunnel under the highway.
No fault of Henry Bennison. I reckon he's done a good job on Steve Summerton to this stage. Looks like he's getting a bit frustrated there.
Nearly 30 minutes that quarter run, so yeah.
I would have thought,
good.
Samo, you're going to have to get used to that, mate. I reckon you're going to cop a fair bit of that this year.
He's going to get.
Well, that's the name of the game in BLG footy. You make the best players.
Yep.
Next week, someone's running with you. Doesn't matter who you are, whether it was a fluke or whatever it is.
Well, you know what you got to do. You got to put the wrong best players in the paper, Jamo. That's how you.
Some of them can read. Some of them can read, though.
It's good to see South just running the one tag today. There was a game last year where they were running 6 tags in a game.
Is that right?
Yeah, it's good to see the new coach is just stuck to the one tag. So,
well, a lot. Yeah, 6 is too many, but you've got to man up on the playmakers. You just can't let them run loose.
I think Jack Osborne walking off the ground with Gavin Chaplin. It looks like the big and the small together there, don't they? But Chappie wish he'd roved Osborne back in the day.
You might know more about this, 90, but I would have thought Branty would have been heads up to be this continuous assistant coach at South.
Yeah, so I spoke about that earlier. So he definitely was offered the role. Way interstate more for work now, so harder to commit. So he'll still be around the place. So like I said, I wouldn't be surprised if he's under the shelter, slipping into a couple of mid-strengths. So
have to go in and see the big fella.
Yeah, absolutely. Go have a chat and might find him at Kingsford Karaoke later tonight.
Handy footballer and a handy cricketer in his day.
Very good coach. Did a great job at Gawler Centrals a few years ago.
Yep.
Yeah. And then went out to Hummocks Watchman. And sort of must have been working, disappeared off the scene. Then he appeared at South, and coincidentally, since he's been around the track here at South, they've made a few finals.
Yeah,
he's working with Scotty Lee as his assistant out here for a while.
Yep.
Yeah, no, he's a very good man and a man loved by all. And if you see him at the pub about 10:30, you're in for a good time with Brazza.
I thought he was a quiet bloke.
He calls himself the Braz Man and sings Scatman song after about 10 o'clock on a Saturday night. So always good fun.
It certainly is.
Just run through your newer players this year, Jamo.
Newer players?
Yeah, well, the guy's new to the club, so you can tell our listeners a little bit about them, because obviously round one, not everyone knows all the players and the new guys. Stevie
Summerton came to us from Port Adelaide, captain of their Sanford side last year.
Yeah.
I think he's played over 200 games. Won numerous best and fairest, and he's a legend at that club. Coming in as a coach is Jay Shannon. He's a York Eyre Peninsula boy. He started at Port Adelaide, went to North Adelaide, and then has had a couple of stints with Harndorf, and then over at Wallaroo last year. Mark Borholm was at West Adelaide, and then transferred to Woodville West Torrens, where he's played in the grand final, but I don't think he's scored a Sanford premiership. Everyone else has played at the club. Newcomers today, Riley Argent has come up from the under-17s to play his first A-grade game. Dylan Tuckwell has played A-grade before, even though this is the first year he's out of the under-17 and a half.
He's been pretty good today.
Yeah, won won our Bob Christie medal last year in the Anzac Day clash. And I think he picked up a couple of other best and fairest. He's had a really good impact. Played his first A-grade game the year before when he was just 16 there. A really classy
Well, he's only 18, is he, young Tuckwell?
He's just 18, just past. He's only too old for 17 and a half by a couple
Looks
of
like
months.
he might develop into a midfielder down the track, but playing more as a small forward at the moment, is he?
Spent some time at West Adelaide where they tried him as that, but to us he seems to be better somewhere around the middle as a distributor rather than a goal kicker. But can kick a goal, as we saw before in the first quarter.
Obviously the big recruit, Summerton.
He is, but you know, like you said, he's going to attract a player. But that takes normally one of our other players, and this is when we've been down the bottom. So the other players like
Rusk has been the beneficiary today.
Yeah, Andrew Peck and that. They've just been cut out of the game because we haven't had the other players that get taken off. So James Protney, he'll be good because there's a little bit less pressure on him. He's one of our other recruits. He's been with the club for 3 years. And of course, Rusker, as you said, enjoying the benefits of Samo enjoying a tag. And it's surprising they haven't picked up on Rusker.
Yeah. What about the points, Jamo? Both sides playing with 12 points today. Is that what their entitlement is?
It's different out here. You've all got different points.
We're 15.
You're 15, so you're playing.
You rarely fill your points, though. We've been bottom the last 2 years, so you rarely fill your points. On the short South side, South would be on 9.
Well, no, they've got 12 out there today.
Have they?
Can you tell us how the points work out here? Because it is different to in other leagues, isn't it? It's it works over a period of time how many points you get.
Yeah, we're on a 2-year rotation, and there's 5 levels: 3, 6, 9, 12, and 15. And it depends on how many games you won in the previous 2 years, average.
So if you have 2 lean years, it goes up by 3.
Yep. The anomaly is you can have a lean year and a good year and still have the maximum points.
I think the other thing is, isn't it where you finish at the end of the minor round rather than at the end of the finals?
Minor round, not
So there's been a few clubs over the years that have just not shown all their cards early in the minor round from a points perspective and then come home with a wet sail in the finals.
Yeah, well, the best example of that, I suppose, is Barossa Districts.
Yep.
Got the four tall players from North Adelaide a few years ago.
Yep.
Won early, lost when it got really wet, and then in September just got into the 4 but went through because of a September side.
So what's the minimum amount of points any side can have? I thought
3.
3, yeah. Tanunda had 3 at one stage?
Tanunda had 3 when they won their 4 premierships in a row.
Yep.
Didn't seem to affect them. I suppose at the end of the day, it's if you get your recruits holding on to them.
Yeah, that's correct.
Just one quick score. We've got it from Kapunda. So Kapunda 6-5-41. Lead Gawler Central 5-7-37 at half time. So only 4 points of difference there.
Yeah, I got a couple more scores as well, with Barossa up by 8 points against Freeling at half time. So probably a bit closer than I expected there.
Where's that been? That's at Freeling.
That is at Freeling.
At Freeling, yeah.
And,
I thought Freeling had a real chance there.
Yeah.
I said so on the radio this morning, so now I'm looking like a goose.
Well, they're only 8 points down.
8 points down, yeah. I thought it'd be a bit more than that.
Tanunda and Williston.
Tanunda, Williston, Tanunda up by about 2 goals at half time. So
always hard to win at Tanunda Oval there.
Yeah, but I think the fact that it's only 2 goals in it.
That's good. That's good for Williston because it's a superstar Tanunda lineup.
Very, very good. Obviously, Coach Dean Turlich as well. Out of the AFL system, only 2 or 3 years.
Yep.
Not McIntosh,
McFarlane. He's out. So Tanunda, I know,
and
have a few outs today.
And Earl. Yeah. That's coming in from Glenelg.
Earl, was it?
Yep. So
yeah, they were very good in the grand final last year. Got beaten by Newry, but they were serviceable all game.
Squeezed to death by Uri there that day. Squeezed to death by a very efficient back 6. They just murdered him.
Absolutely.
Gave him nothing.
So the early pre-season talk's been about Angaston and who else? Who are the
Tanunda and Newry still be the favourites.
Right, Tanunda and Newry.
They would be.
Jamo's talking that down, of course.
No, I think that's fair enough. They
want to get some
haven't
money on
lost that many players, but every side's improved. South have improved.
Hard for Williston
Gawler
starting
Central's
off 2 games behind everyone else.
Gawler Central's improved. Yeah, well, that's, we won't go into that. We're on radio. Well, we're on the air.
Oh, no, we can say what we think. I think it's a disgrace, personally, the
episode,
salary cap. Personally.
The whole episode was a disgrace and just shows you how ridiculous the salary cap is when applied to a competition like us.
We're not beholden to anyone. We're here to give an opinion and people can have one. I just don't agree with the salary cap. I've had this discussion with Sean in the past and everyone's got a different view. I'm just not a big fan of it. I just think that if you don't need a group of people to tell you how much money you can spend as a footy club, because every footy club's different.
Yeah, you're always limited because of obviously being an incorporated body, and you're always responsible to your members. So you've got to be careful what you spend anyway. But the point system, and they have altered the point system. The point system prior to that, at that time, was just as good as the salary cap. But now an outside player can be 0 points after 25 games or 2 seasons. You've got sides like Tanunda now that have got 11 out of the 22 today players arrived at that club with a contract. So they're not locals. Not all of them are being paid anymore. Some of them have been there for a while and probably don't take the salary, but that's 11 out of the 22 that aren't locals. So the salary cap hasn't achieved anything there. As far as
maybe just thinking
through.
Outside the square, Jamo, maybe something worth looking at is that you must have a minimum number of locals.
Well, when they brought it in, we were very adamant that locals, like your local product, should be exempt from the salary cap, because they're the kids you've spent your money on coming through your Colts and your juniors.
Yep.
And all the clubs in the BLG have got very good junior programs.
Yep.
We run 13 teams at Angaston, and most clubs are about the same.
Yeah.
Well, what I found, and I only found it out when I got out here, because you had 1 year at Williston, was how passionate the supporters and the business people were in the area, and their theory is, after listening to them, that's where I thought the salary cap's no good, because they said, like, we're a passionate country club. Like, we're raising the money, we are responsible to our members, so we have to keep, we have to keep the money. And like, who are these people in a big ivory tower to tell us what we can spend in our footy club? And that was their attitude. And I reckon they're probably on the ball. Like,
well, I'll play the devil's advocate, Luke, just for the sake of the argument, and that is that.
Well, that's what it's about.
Yep.
Yeah.
The reason it was brought in was because there's concern of the drain from the SANFL, and
if we want the reserves.
Yep, and if we want to have a true grassroots feeder system through to the AFL, we need strong local state leagues.
Well, why do reserves players get paid about $70 a game, expected to train 5 days a week, and get taxed on it and the whole lot? I mean, maybe the SNFL clubs need to lift their game with the reserves players if they want to keep them.
Well, I'll tell you, I've got a very simple solution. I've run this past a few people. Why doesn't the AFL, if the AFL is genuine about wanting to make sure that the local state leagues are the true feeder league, they've taken control of the waffle, they haven't taken control of the SNFL, why don't they just give $500,000 to each of the clubs in South Australia? So that's only 500 times 8. What's that? $4 million. Well, the money that's getting spent on women's footy, no disrespect to the women's footy, for $4 million, you put 500 into each of those 8 SNFL clubs, and their salary cap can go up by 500, and now you can pay your reserves players $200 a game.
Exactly.
And you're not going to have them running out as much
But
as
you cannot blame a reserves footballer who's getting paid $70 or $100 and taxed on it, and training 5 nights a week for going country for a few more bucks or playing amateur.
Even at the lower end of Sanford, they're only getting a couple $100 a game.
That's right. No one's blaming the players. God, good heavens, no.
But I'm just saying that's the reason. I'm not so sure anyone's really given an honest answer over the time, because they're all afraid of the community football.
Well, Sanford haven't been honest about their intentions with the salary cap, but that's the way it is.
Yeah.
But with the NAB league just around the corner, and obviously AFL's intention is to take over the SANFL or move SANFL into a status similar to the Waffle. And as I understand it, this NAB league, that will be the feeder into AFL. It won't be from your capital city leagues.
That's right. It'll be the reserves competition.
It's a reserves competition with a couple more sides, 20 teams, I think.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what. When the day that happens,
one from Canberra and one from NT.
Yep.
Plus 18 sort of matched up with the current AFL clubs.
It'll be the death of the SANFL.
Well, then you come to the American system where, you don't really play sport after you leave high school.
Yep.
If you don't qualify for a scholarship to play college sport, there's no Angaston versus South Gawler in America.
No, you finished at 22.
You're finished. You may play social games or pick-up games, but actual competitions like we have in regional, rural areas don't exist.
Yeah.
I throw something a bit left field out there.
Well, I don't give it to us.
Well, that's what it's about. It's about robust discussion. We don't have to all agree.
I look at, and I've got a lot of mates playing reserves, and those points are, all big issues for them with work commitments and whatnot. It's actually hard to commit to SANFL.
Friday night SANFL game, what time does the reserve start?
So he actually has to take annual leave.
Yep.
So one of my mates that's done it, he has to take annual leave from work, so he's eaten into his annual leave to go and play footy. Now, do you go down to keep the SANFL league still as a Premier League? Do you go down the same sort of lines as your Crows reserves? And do you have a squad of 34 and your white reserves completely, and they're going back? They're not picked to play league for that week. Going back playing local.
That's a chance. I think that is a genuine chance.
That's a genuine chance.
It is, but that's a mistake we made as a community whenever it was when we got rid of the under 17s and under 19s. We virtually got rid of 200 reasonably good footballers.
Yeah.
Where have they gone? There's no new clubs they went to.
Yeah, that's right.
They're
Clubs
gone.
are going by the wayside rather than the other way around.
They've gone, that 200 that played out of the comp, and the under 16s is a bit of a Mickey Mouse thing, half a season.
Yep.
And then the best players they keep down just to train with their under 18s, and they don't come back with their clubs. And if they do come back to the clubs, they happen to be at the Oval when you're training, they're not allowed to train with you. Not allowed to train with their home club, even though they're not actually training at General Districts or their league club.
No, we got that at Williston. They weren't allowed to train if they were at Centrals and all this sort of stuff.
Or kicking a footy in the pocket.
But, either one of two things has to happen. Either the reserves has to go and all of a sudden the league clubs get them up from the country in the what's name, like the AFL do. They have to get it back from the SANFL. Or, as Jacko said, they've got to put an extra 500 grand into the SANFL clubs because it can't continue as it is.
You couldn't go back, like we couldn't do that and still have the same salary cap. The Victorian salary cap is a graded thing on the competition, and you almost can nominate what amount. You can actually reduce your amount if you feel you don't need to spend it. I don't know if there's any benefit in doing that. But, Ovens and Murray and those big leagues over there, their salary caps are around the 200,000.
Yeah, correct.
And that's legal.
Yep.
And the SANFL, the second tier competition in Australia, 400, 430 or whatever.
And let's call a spade a spade. The reserves competition these days is a very average in terms of its quality, isn't it? I mean,
but it is good in terms of its age.
Yes.
I'd hate to see it go because it is young.
Under 23.
There's no 30-year-old ruckman hanging around the reserves like you used
Should
to be
under
once.
23 reserves.
Yeah, something like that, yeah. I mean, Rugby League
with
had
two
that.
overage players or something like that.
Yeah, Rugby League's curtain raiser game was an under 23 or under 25 competition.
Let's face it, if you haven't played league footy by the time you're 23, you're probably not going to anyway, are you?
Yeah, in saying that, I think if you did that, you'd have to have a couple of permits or a couple of exemptions. So let's say
two overage players.
Let's say someone coming back from a long-term injury. If I'm coaching Sturt Footy Club and Jack Osborne's been out for 6 weeks with a medial, he comes back. I don't want him to come and playing at Gawler Centrals or Angaston. I want him playing in reserve so I can look after him and monitor him. Yeah. So I think you'd have to have a couple.
You see that with soccer, Adelaide United, their seconds is an under-23s team, but their listed players go back and play in that if they're injured or they're anyway. So those players are allowed to push back.
Yep.
So there's nothing wrong with that.
I think the only way to solve it is to have a robust discussion like we've done today. Like throw some ideas around, not just just have people in ivory towers decide, and that's the way it is. I mean, you've got to have.
They work hard and they provide us some benefits, but at the end of the day, what they're doing is protecting their own market. And this is the way they see they need to do it, and I don't believe it is. They're damaging our market, and if they damage our market, well, they damage themselves. Because if we become a lesser competition, we start losing out to other sports, and we're also losing out to work because it's not Monday to Friday, 8 o'clock to 5 o'clock anymore. You know, even at our level, they're giving up work to come and play football and train. They've got to weigh that up. You know, all these young blokes out here got to weigh it up. We've got the youngest ever reserves competition we've ever had in the competition. The medium age is well below what it used to be, even 10 years ago.
Yeah, right. Okay.
Do you want to lead us off at Jimmo and to start this second half? So
where are we?
Just at half time. It's Angaston 8-7-55 are leading South Gawler 4-5-29. So we've got a good little lead there. 26 points to Angaston at half time. Take us away, Jimmo.
So it'd be Bornholm and
no, it's Hudson in the ruck, isn't it?
Hudson in the ruck. Yep.
Going
at each other. Tap forward comes out to Patrick White. Big high kick to half forward. Camped underneath it was Miles from Angaston, but he could only get a hand to it. It's Costanza. Handball over the head, which I don't like that handball. White again. He's on to Jackson Dare. Jackson Dare couldn't get the kick away. Back to him. Slips the handball out. And very
Nathan
quick
Barch.
goal by
Nathan Barch.
Nathan Barch.
Archie, the big
South
Barch.
And a bit of intensity from South there out of the centre circle.
Yeah, I think
it's on here behind play. There's just a bit of push and shove. Jack Miles just a little bit of a dirty hit that was picked up, but that's all a part of it in country footy. Nothing too stressed.
Big Osborne's in there, so I don't think too many people are going to be arguing with him.
Now, would we think Osborne's gone to full forward?
He has, yeah.
See Parker's on him.
Kick it long to him.
Your favourite barman.
Big man, isn't he?
Yes.
He your
looks
favourite
after it.
barman? How many
Yes.
times has he thrown you out?
He's never thrown me out, thankfully. But yeah, so pours a good drink down at the exchange in Gawler there. So, he's a very good man, Parksy. So
the 204 centimetre.
Yep.
Yeah, so he goes well. But South with the first very quickly here.
Harvey out to Tuckwell.
We got given all
Tuckwell onto
Summerton.
Holmes.
Summers in there with
Soccer out the air.
It's David Aldred.
Cross half back for South Gawler. It's picked up by Reinke. He gets a handball out, but the kick is smothered. Now it's Tuckwell again.
They actually did the right
He's
thing.
able to kick into
they
the
must have
forward
changed the
pocket.
numbers overnight.
No one's able to get a hand to it. It's hard up against the boundary line. The umpire calls play on.
The left foot.
Drilled out. Oh, good catch by Callan
They
Loki
did give it to us
on the far wing for Angaston. Driving it back in, but already the players are streaming into the back line, crowding the play. He's gone inboard to Tuckwell. Third kick for the quarter. He kicks across half forward.
Oh, it's Bailey.
Overrun by Paprotny. See, I said he was having a good season. That's chipped out by
Costanza there.
Costanza.
Jackson Press wheels around.
Press. Yours.
To Whitworth. Jacko Dare's going to try and crumb this one. Goes back with a handball to Whitworth on Harvey. Can you do anything special? A little poker there. Into Blink Iron. Gives the hands. Angaston are going to take the ball out of defence.
That's through Loki.
Real lack of forward pressure by South Gawler allows the ball to come out far too easy from their forward line then.
Yeah, Osborne not a sprinter, I don't think. It's over the hands, hard up against the barrier. Always looks like it should be out here at South Gawler, but no, the umpire's found a free kick. That boundary line seems to run forever over that far side.
It does. It looks like it's taking of the knees against Washington on the far side, against Miles by the look.
Next week too, we're at the dog track. Gawler, Centrals and Freeling. That's a great setup there at the dog track, isn't it?
Yeah, my home club. So yeah, it'd be good to get back down there.
In that great big last year, they put us in the
dog tower
up there in the Fox box where they broadcast the Fox Sky Racing.
Yep.
That's a great spot to be to call the footy.
Yeah, it's a beautiful spot to watch from up there. So the boys are been looking fit on the track, and I might finally make my way onto the track during the week as Osborne takes a mark.
$5 million facility sitting next to it, and with all the bells and whistles.
Yeah, no, very, very good spot. So should be a good game, that one.
They
combined pretty well there, the big fellas.
Has anything happened with that?
Look,
better use of that?
Yeah, we're trying. It's about coming to an agreement with both parties. So I think we've come to an agreement. I haven't been to a committee meeting in a while, Jamo. I've been focusing on cricket. But we'll, I've got one Tuesday night, so I'll be able to tell you next week.
Okay. second goal for South Gawler in this quarter, and they should move on to 6-5-41. Angaston 8-7 55.
That there, Jacko, that's the benefit of having the coach down at 211 centimetres or whatever it is, down inside 50.
Yeah, combined well. I think Brody Hudson kicked it up to him from the wing with a long kick. So the two big boys combining well to set up the second goal for South Gawler.
They've come out the blocks here, South.
Yep.
They probably have a start of every quarter and just faded, and Angaston have worked into the game from there each quarter.
No doubt. Gavin Chaplin gave him a rip at half-time and fired him up, as Chappie is famous for.
Gets a bit vocal, doesn't he?
Can he get white line fever, the chapster?
Yeah, we did a game from Salisbury North the other year, and they said, I don't think you should set up here. We were in the side next to the coach's box. He said, yeah, we might not look like a lot of the commentary that comes through, they said.
First R-rated commentary for the year. Beautiful
There's a nice
release.
little handball there from Barch. Yep. Golding taps it forward for South. Paddy White on the end of it.
Oh!
Gives a handball to Sutton. It was beautiful work by Paddy. Barch on the end of it. Stanzo little running through. Not sure about that there.
Just needed to finish his work
and the
off,
coach
White.
again.
He's got it.
The coach has snapped another one. Very good work at ground level from Jack Osborne for South.
What about the blind turn from White?
Yes, very silky move of Pat. So
got a bit physical in there too.
Yeah, like there is a bit of feeling in this game. I know captain for Angaston, Jack Miles, has certainly got physical right throughout, and Paddy White for South have been probably the two majors in that.
Right, Jamo, what are we going to do about I like the move of Osborne forward.
Yeah.
It's really causing Angaston a bit of trouble, and looks like nobody wants to go to him at this stage.
It should help you with your clearances when there's a good line up in the centre.
He's sitting in that hot spot.
Who's on him?
Square there for
20 metre out.
Angaston.
They haven't got the height difference though.
Brody Hudson signalling to the bench.
Yep.
Yeah, they got James Parker on him, and he's given away 20 or 30 centimetres.
At least
20 or 30 kilos.
James not moved into the ruck. Why would that be?
Nah, I think he'll stay at centre half back predominantly for this year. Brody Hudson will do the second ruck work for most of the year, I think.
Reinke to Hood, cross half forward for the Panthers. Hood into the point of the square.
He's been impressive, Jamo.
In front was Eberhard, but couldn't bring it in. But
Summerton
off the ground, Summerton.
That's why he's
First
inside.
influence
Beautiful
on the game.
I think the boys under the shelter might have said something there. He pointed to him.
He said, "There's 500 there, right there."
maybe should have been left up forward to break the tag rather than try and break it.
You might have said how many league games you fellas played.
Might be a few under that shed, I reckon.
If there's another pocket, he can drill it at him.
Eddie Schwert's over there, isn't
Eddie Schwert will be under there. There'll be, a few boys. Grant Filkey under there.
He'd be one of the most credentialed players to have ever come out here into the Barossa, wouldn't he?
Eddie Schwert.
No,
Summerton.
Stephen Summerton.
Absolutely, and
an AFL bloke came here a few years ago, but we won't talk about that. Straight from an AFL club.
Yeah, Josh Clayton.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow. Forgot about that.
That was reasonably credentialed.
Brody is setting them alight at the moment in the ruck. And once again, I think he's deliberately tried to put that down someone's throat, hasn't he?
Yeah.
He has then.
I think
Not
so,
bad.
right, Jacko?
Thomas Ryan, pretty special player in the back lines. His left foot is uncanny.
He's good. I spoke to him before the game, Tommy, and he's actually stripped a bit of weight as well. So looking as fit as I've seen him in a few years.
Yep. I like the way him and Jack Miles combine in the back half for Angaston.
And the thing with Osborne up forward, his teammates aren't going to fly against him. You know.
Yeah, I'm certainly not. If that's me.
right. You're going to stay down because either he's going to mark it or there's an easy ball coming ground.
Absolutely. Hudson with a nice tap there. Bornholm picking up some work.
Struggling though, starting to move. See him move away from that clearance, Hutto. I think it's time to get out of the ruck, big fella. You've had a nice 5 or 6 minutes, but have a rest.
I don't think Osborne. I think he's seeing how he's impacting the game at full forward. I don't think he really wants to go down there, does he?
Yeah, just looking the way Brody was unable to run away from that restart makes me think his time is short-lived in the middle. Having said that, beautiful palm.
Pushed him out the way too. He got Bornholm out the way. How's
the Osborne and Bornholm, both their groundwork that they've done, actually getting over and picking the ball up as well?
Yeah.
You don't see that from many big men. They've been very impressive in that aspect.
Yeah, and
you're going to start winning the ball out centre now, Jamo. You're starting to lose around the stoppages now.
Great tackle there from Brody.
Yeah, perhaps it's being closed up, but obviously with the win.
It's actually given him a bit of grunt around the ball, hasn't he,
Yeah.
Brodie Hudson?
He has. Against a more accomplished opponent too, with Bornholm.
Holding on press there, yep.
Are you allowed to
Against
wrestle
Harvey.
these days?
Press might have been given a bit of a hurry up. We wanted to see the first quarter reincarnate, and we have. This first 10 minutes, first 6 or 7 minutes has been good.
Could have gone direct though.
Could it? Yeah. And when you got Osborne there, you should be going more direct.
Looking for big Reece Sutton, was he?
Went for Reece, yep.
Just on 10 minutes gone in this third quarter here from South Gawler Oval.
Thank God someone set the time of this quarter. We know where we are.
Someone threw his season pass in the bin.
Bornholm takes it out, finds Miles with a handball. High kick to the centre of the ground. Anyone camped under it could have marked it, but no one got right under it. No one got two hands. Kick. Somerton did it. Will fall right for Rusker. Rusker turns out of trouble. How can he do that so easily? High kick to centre half forward. Pack flies. Sharking there, hopefully was Ryan Connelly, but couldn't get into it. Ball didn't come his way. Wrapped up at the true centre half forward position for
I tell you what,
Angaston.
Henry Bennison he's in for a work out at the moment. Obviously someone said something to Samo at half time, and his work rate has been exceptional there. Do you see the way he's now isolated himself at full forward? It's probably a good coaching move, that. Test young Bennison out, see what he's like one-on-one. Open up the forward line.
Yeah, they've got a +1 back there on him too. There's someone sitting back in the hole.
Yep.
Yeah, Bailey Zobel, he'll play the loose man in defence for South. Beautiful leg, so they'll try and use him as Press gets a clearance.
Yeah, South Gawler all over that with that
that.
+1 sitting just in front of
Loki
of Somerton too.
Yeah.
Will it stay in?
Yeah, good.
Scrimmage is going to go back to South. He's done holding the ball. It looks like might have been Whitwer on that far side there. And it was. Was that young Riley Argent with the tackle
Riley
there?
Argent with the tackle. The lead, Camp Dunham was Eberhard, punched away from him. Comes out of
Clearance from
defence,
Judd Smith.
evades Rusker, soccer off the ground, picked up by Paprotny. He's able to release Rusker. Rusker's got someone he's looking at, and it's coming out.
Great kick.
Nice.
Whose jumper's gone there? Jay Shannon's jumper.
Comes out and finds
Ooh.
right Eberhard.
That's going to be straight in the pocket early there, Jamo. New jumper for Jay.
Well, that comes out of the coaching fees.
He can pay for that himself for getting in the scuffle.
What's he like in front of goals, the big Ever?
Look,
He's kicked two.
yeah, and
He's kicked the mongrel there, but it looks...
on
target.
No, it just touched on the
across
line.
Played at full forward for Central District seconds.
Okay.
Most of his time. Yeah, presents well.
Yep.
Whitwood goes short inside to Costanzo, inside defence. He goes short to Press. Not a great kick, but he fixes up his own work, and Costanzo comes through, gets a handball, goes wide to Golding. Right in front of us here. He goes long and direct. Paddy White running back. He's in a panic here. He's going to run in. Can he kick it?
Oh, yes,
He's kicked it. He's kicked it.
Got it.
And very
right.
up and about Paddy as he gets. So
Righty, he can celebrate, can't he?
Yeah.
Hey?
He might have just hurt Golding with a high five there as well. So, yeah, he has. He's got Golding in the face with a high five. So, Paddy loving his own work.
Yeah, he's kicked a goal from 7 metres straight out in front. You would have thought he won the premiership. Beautiful celebration.
That's his second. So, South very happy for him to be back. Before he went to Darwin, he did win the B&F off, I think, just over half a season a game. So, very, very talented footballer, and looks like he's gone to the square now as well. So
Now, there is a number 10 out there for South. Who is that?
that is, so on the sheet we've got him listed as number 11.
Oh, it's David Aldred.
It's Dave Aldred. So, might have been a change of Guernseys overnight.
Angus Adams back on the ground and give them a bit more height. Angaston going forward.
Tuckwell with a quick kick away. Goes wide. Argent and Barch in a speed race. The young fellow in Argent's got the better of it. Gets a kick inside 50.
As if on cue. There's my boy. There's my boy. Oh. Great coaching move.
Rush through for a behind.
Mullet, great coaching move. Leave him on the ground this time.
Number 20. Looks like, as I said, Jay's Shannon's Guernsey's copped a bit in a scuffle, so it looks like he's got a new number 24.
Oh, big Jack Osborne nearly takes a good mark out on the half-back flank. He's up nice and high.
Got off the air, got up in the air, the big bloke. Fired in low, but South steady in defence. Trying to handball to the goal square, out wide.
Dangerous
Nearly
kick.
an interception by Kennelly, and should be pushed out of bounds. Kept it out of bounds, and not much we can see from here.
Not much.
Free kick to Whitwer. Free kick to Whitwer. I don't know what for, though. I thought he just went to ground. So he's got the free kick at half-back right up against the boundary line.
It's gone down the line. Aldred underneath. Punched away from him by Antoni. Good handball out. Can Brock Judd Smith take the ball? He does. Handballs inboard to Benison. Benison fire into the pocket. Running for the ball, we have Osborne and Blake Holmes.
Like to see that the young Henry Benison, the tagger.
Blinkine.
Peeling off his man a bit.
Blinkine gone to Osborne. Throw in right forward pocket for South Gawler, trailing 8-5 to 9-9, made up 3 goals in this quarter. 15 minutes gone. Borholm tries to take it out of the air.
Press off the ground.
Kick along the ground. Blinkine there. Handballs backwards. Handballs backwards again.
Samo with a very uncharacteristic fumble there on the goal line. I don't reckon you would have seen that too often in the last 200 games he's played at this AFL level.
And interesting, like, to adapt to a game. You know, like everyone's touting that how he's going to dominate it. You still got to adapt to the way a game is played. You've got to recognise that in most teams, there's 3 or 4 blokes could probably still play Samful. So he'll take his while to find his way in the comp, but we've got no doubt he will.
Yeah, what I like about it, he's decided in the second half he's going to try and outwork young Henry Benison and test him, and he's working both ends of the ground beautifully. He kicked the ball in there now. You see him now, he's working his way back into the midfield. Henry.
Is that a catch?
You're going to have to hang tight, champ.
It's,
You're a cricketer?
Oh, yeah. Not a very good catch, though.
Well, it's not out.
Just stick to the batting and the bowling for me, thanks. I've summited on the end of one again here.
Yep.
Ball given a bit of air.
As Jamo said, you just can't, even though he's an absolute star, he's not just going to come in and rack up 40 touches. It's a, you know, the Barossa's a different type of game. It's a more physical game, probably, especially than looking at when we play Ammo's teams in trials and that, Jacko.
Yep.
It's more built for speed and quick footy, whereas the Barossa's a lot slower and a bit more contested. So
he's too good a player not to end up being a really good player. And, you know, I'm not sure how often he's been tagged through his career, and if you haven't been exposed to a tag, that also takes a bit of adjustment.
And of course the level of service probably isn't quite the same as Samful.
Yep.
So harder to break the tag. Ruskell's just had a shot for goal and got the minor score.
But I really like the fact that, you know, he's come out after half time and just gone, well, I'll tell you what, if you're going to go with me, young Henry, I'm going to test you a bit, son.
Get your skates on.
Yep.
Borholm with the mark, finds Kennelly. Kennelly fires it in, looking for Eberhard. He couldn't reel it in. Ball's gone to ground. The umpire says it's mine.
Big Dave Aldred making his way to the interchange bench.
Heavy due for a breather.
Free kick to Peck, and this
and
be Peck's first goal.
This would be Peck's. This would be for goal number 1 for Peck.
He's been kept quiet too.
Samo and Henry coming off the ground. Looks like Hutto's struggling to blow out a candle as well. I think he needs to spell the big fella.
Well, they just had Aldred come off, and now Hutto. So the two of their tall timber coming off at the same time. I'm not sure how long they'll want that for.
But both sides wheeling changes left, right and centre, rotating their players through. First game of the year, it's warm.
That is
nice kick.
That
goal umpire out.
Steve Rolton
all day. Tell you what, we have to get him some glasses.
That's Schmidt down there now, Angaston's goal umpire. So you can't argue with that.
Just ask him.
Goes wide. It's Nick White with the footy. Half back for South. He goes inboard to Costanzo. Costanzo, his ball use today has been brilliant. He's going to switch again. He'll go to Whitwer.
Good pressure here by Angaston. They were holding the ball in. South Gawler struggling to get it out of their back 50.
Goes long down the centre here, looking for the big boys. Darcy Judd Smith stands under it. And he'll get the free kick as well.
Not much could do there.
Stanzo with a handball. He goes wide to Whitwer. The boys have teamed up a couple of times in this quarter. It's on Jack O'Dare's head. He brings the ball to ground. Sutton does the crumbing. Washington's going to get on the end of it. Tommy Ryan's just outworked him and ran the ball over the line.
An important push forward here for South.
Yeah, they need a score, that's for sure.
Takes them within under a goal if they manage to jag one now. Angaston defence under a fair bit of pressure. Parker back on.
Beautiful throw from the boundary umpire right into the corridor.
White tackle by
Angaston,
Ruska.
for South
Lincoln
Gawler.
out. Handball to Jack Ryan. Jack Ryan's chip kick finds Reinke. He's able to release Hood. Hood's got some space, goes for the bounce. Turf's too good and it doesn't come back to him. He kicks to vacant area, left half forward for the Panthers, going towards the city end of South Gawler Oval. Now it's
He's followed his work up beautifully there, young Hood, hasn't he?
Sent it to
Really
the corridor. Coming out, good defence
Big boy
by
Osborne.
Osborne. Angaston push it back into the forward line, deep into the pocket. Tuckle's out there, can't get it, and the ball across the boundary line, given the free kick for pushing the back.
Tell you what, Paddy White's, the way he reads the tap work, I reckon he's nearly been on the end of every stoppage.
Yep.
Not always getting clean possession, but the way he reads it off the hand is just fantastic.
I've been impressed by him.
South transfer across the goal face.
Nick White goes down the line. Ruska.
Good interception by Ruska. Angaston really need a goal to steady this. Sends it up towards the square.
Shannon. Oh.
No one can bring it out. And we'll have a ball up. Right forward pocket for the Panthers.
Going to have a ball up. It's just been that arm wrestle now the last probably 5-10 minutes.
Yeah,
Scrubber kick out, Golding on the end of it. He's handballed to himself. He's got it back, handball again inboard. Just losing it, he's been wrapped up. That's the skipper, Jack Miles for Angaston. He's wrapped him up. Loves a bit of aggression, does Smilesy.
right half forward for the Panthers. There's a big pack around the ball now. I haven't got much optimism it'll get out. Could have a series of throw-ups here. Very important part of the game now. Next goal brings...
Change the forward structure, South Gawler now at the moment.
Jay Shannon in the hands of the trainers.
Just looking a bit sore when he come off. Just got the wind knocked out of him.
Pressed up the ground, South Gawler. If they can get a clearance here and get it over the top for Josh Whitwer, they'll have plenty of space to work with. We're trying with a big barrel now. But
Stanza with the release
there, Josh.
Golding.
Sit there, Josh. Don't go yet.
Carnelli, he's been fantastic today.
Blinker needs to get it released out to Paprotny. Paprotny driving forward. Should be space up there now for the Angaston forwards. Punched wide by Reinke to Peck. Peck to Holmes. Holmes is wrapped up and we'll have a ball up at centre half forward for the Angaston side.
Wrapped up there by Tyler Lee with a big tackle.
About 40 metres straight out from goal.
Still 10 points in it here. Pat out of the clearance again. Costanzo with a back handball again to Golding. Clayton Cameron will take a mark on half back for South Gawler. South Gawler have the ball the closest side.
Has to come down the line.
Down the line. Angus Adams going to sit under it. Your boy again, Jacko.
I like the look of this young lad, Angus. He's probably 35, but...
Nah, he's only young.
He's older than his number.
23 and a half minutes gone, and Angaston 9-10, holding on to their slim lead of 10 points in front of South Gawler. Good
grab in defence by Pat White.
Yep.
In front. I'm not sure about the kick there, but he's gone out to Washington. He'll get the mark.
Hey, need a play on here, South Gawler. We need them to get us a goal.
Judd Smith, he plays on as well. Handballs to press through the middle.
Delays the handball, beautiful.
Barch goes inside 50. They're going to turn. Jack O'Dare. Brock Judd Smith off hands.
Take the footy, son.
It looks like we'll have a stoppage about 10-15 metres out from South goal.
Nice free kick in AFL
good
there.
Transfer of play, wasn't it?
Very good transfer of play. Just need that
Josh Whitworth to
Final
get on
one.
the end of that would have been a nice couple of minutes.
I think I'm called on to do the ruck work. Gets in
Bingo coming
front.
home with this breeze, John.
and-
Be pretty happy with that one.
Well, the breeze hasn't fallen away. I thought it might have.
Yeah, all the scoring though has been to this northern
It
end,
has,
though.
yep. And the breeze isn't that strong, but I suppose it's all psychological, isn't it?
Not here. We're protected here with a fantastic shelter that's been put over our heads today.
Really good day, isn't it?
It's been
Crowd's
great fun.
still all here, big crowd.
You look under the shelter, there's not much room to move under there.
No.
Tuckle finds Harvey on the burst. Harvey forced to check.
A lot
Now
of left
chips
footers
up the
playing this
line.
game today.
Yeah.
It's good enough.
Finds
Level
Kennelly.
left footer.
Kennelly into half forward, punched forward by Peck. No one's picked up. There's Hood in there for Angaston.
Big
First
tackle.
to the ball, thrown off the ball. Now it's released to Argent. Argent's can't find his target in Eberhard over his head, but it comes back to Eberhard. He managed to boot the ball, fire it in towards the goal line, and
Quick
so
hands
the
from
minor
Summon
score.
and getting that ball out.
Drop mark there was could have been really costly, but in the end they weren't able to hurt him on the scoreboard, Angaston.
Tyler Lee applied a huge tackle there and instead has only done damage to himself, taken the wind out of himself. So he's struggling. He's on hands and knees in the middle of the ground, struggling to breathe at the moment, I would have thought.
There's the three-quarter time siren.
Short a quarter. Seemed, yeah. Half time, three-quarter time here. It's South Gawler 8:7:55, and it's Angaston 9:11:65. 10 points here.
And we have the three-quarter time. Sean Jackson's going out, and we're going to get Rick Pearson. He's going to come on. He's going to come on air. He's one of the directors of the Barossa Footy League, and tell us a little bit about what's happening this year in the Barossa Footy, just so that guys who don't keep up to date with everything, you can tell us a little bit about what's happening within the league. Being on the board of directors, mate.
Have a listen.
Yeah. That's
No, we're quite excited to have live streaming of our match of the round each week, and I'd like to thank Luke and his team for coming on board this year, as well as the live streaming will also be video and the other three games, and
good entertainment
Yep.
for people in the Barossa. It's so big out here. There's thousands of people, so it's one of the biggest football areas in the whole state.
Oh, we're pretty excited this year. I think there's been an influx of some really good talent this year, and I don't think there'll be an easy game for any team this year. It's I reckon we've gone to a Final Five situation this year.
First time ever?
No, we've had it before,
Okay.
but then it got axed and we went back to a 4. But we've gone to a 5, and I think there'll probably be at least six teams vying for that
And is
5.
that to create more anticipation or revenue, or was there a reason?
It's probably cost-wise for a club. It costs a lot of money to put a teams on the field each week. We thought with an extra final that'll give the host club the chance to raise a bit of money and offset their costs for the year. So
And
that was one of the main reasons for it.
You set your finals each year, though. They're set at a particular ground. Is there any thought behind the other one where the highest finishing side plays? Or
No, we've already set it this year. I think South Gawler have got one, and
good
Newry.
fair way to do it.
Yeah, no, we South actually introduced the motion at the delegates meeting to go to a Final Five, so we thought, we'll see that they introduced it, we'll give them a chance to participate in one of the finals this year.
I thought that was a great idea when I first saw it at Williston, where you actually programmed them in and clubs could actually bank on working towards that final all season, getting your catering staff and your beer tents and all of that stuff ready, and so you've got a whole year to work on that final.
That's the reason why we've done it. It's on a 9-year rotation, and each club knows what finals they've got in that 9-year rotation. So they've got plenty of time to plan it and get some money. So we think it works well, and so do the clubs.
Other great initiatives you've got this year out here, mate?
Oh yeah, having Matty on the commentary team is probably one of the wisest moves you blokes have made this year. So
junior footy, women's footy.
Well, women's footy's continuing to grow.
Yeah.
We've had a few representatives down at the Central District this year from the BLNG.
Great.
So we're pretty excited. We've gone to a full oval with the women this year.
Excellent.
With the A grade. So yeah, no, it's coming along quite well. We're quite happy with the way that women's footy's going. So
along with that as well, good to see Gawler Central Junior Chloe Shear also playing in a grand final for Adelaide Crows and winning a flag on the weekend as well. So she started her footy career out at Gawler Central.
Yep.
So good to see for the competition as well.
And any your great sponsors out here of your footy league, honestly?
We've had our major sponsor now for about 19 years, which is Grant Birch
Grant
Wine.
Birch.
So, and they're committed for another year next year. They'll make 20 years. So
got to give them a plug all the time.
Yeah,
Anyone who
we'll
commits
give
as
them
a
a
major
plug.
sponsor like that.
And they make a good drop of red too, just quietly.
Just quietly?
Yeah, I'm sure Maddie's had a few of them. So
Just a few, mate. Just a few.
If ever you're going to get a good drop, it's going to be out here in the Barossa.
It is. Yeah. So, look, I'll hand back to your commentary team, and as I said once again, Luke, you and your team for coming on board.
Thanking you.
We appreciate it, mate. And hopefully we can give you some good footy over the year too.
We'd like to be
stream.
here for many, many years. So it's
All right, thanks, mate.
Thanks very much, Rick. Thanks for coming aboard. Hopefully during the year we'll get you again.
I'm sure you will, mate.
Up by opposite Coles there.
Yeah, that's good to get the directors of the competition to talk about the competition, the grades, just quickly.
Absolutely, no, they do a fantastic job, the association in.
Mick the president, and I've met other people today, and Rick, and there's a whole heap of really good people that run it out here.
They all get on nicely. Sometimes.
Sometimes.
The restart, Bornholm. Brody Hudson's back in it. Bornholm gets the kick out. Up to half forward, punched away. Cross half forward. There's Ruska. Breaks the tackle.
Beautiful
Can
take.
straighten up and kick a goal. Can he kick the goal? No, he misses it. Gee, that would have been a great start for the Panthers.
I mean, a very good start. Jamo, what was the message at three-quarter time from the coach?
A bit along those lines.
Big Jack Osborne.
Go hard the first 5 minutes. Don't think the wind can do it for you. Go hard, push back in the game, ignore the scoreboard.
Yep. And Jacko, you had to listen to Osborne.
Did have a listen to Big Jack Osborne in his first game as a coach, and I thought he spoke quite well. One thing they probably need to do is invest a bit more money into their KPI board. It's the size of a hanky. Probably the smallest KPI board I've ever seen.
Now, what does KPI stand for? Don't say key point indicator or something.
Yeah, key performance indicators. They're just tracking 3 today, look like. Centre clearances.
Paddy White with a mark on the goal line again.
Reading the play there. Reading the gist of the play.
Done very well. Been one of South's best today. He goes long. That wasn't as good a kick. Kicks it to a Propotny as well.
And this is where you'd want to be if you're kicking for goal, wouldn't you?
Another score from Kapunda over. Got Kapunda 11-8-74, lead Gawler Central's 9-10-64. So that's 10 points to Kapunda at three-quarter time.
Yes, in the Freeling-Barossa game as well. We've actually got Freeling up by a point.
All my tips are up at the moment.
Williston and Tanunda. Tanunda still in front?
Yes, Tanunda kicked away in that one. They were about a 33-point lead.
Okay.
So
yeah, I
that
thought
game's done and dusted?
Yeah, I reckon.
All but done and dusted, I would say.
7-goal breeze there.
But we got a game on our hands here.
Yep. All the grounds, three of the 4 games are still on at three-quarter time by the sound.
It's 68 points to 35.
Yeah. Thanks.
So all my tips are up at the moment.
So you had a good start, Jamo.
Yep, I tipped a draw in this game. I really think they're evenly matched, and I think it does show that at the moment with Carnelli out the back getting the handball from Harvey. He kicks to the pocket over the top of Everhard. South will just let it run through for a minor score or
Looks
out
like
of bounds, whatever.
Wilbur Rolton down there waving his hands around.
Yeah, he looked a bit frustrated, didn't he?
Yeah, he'd be probably a couple of ports at half time for Wilbur or a couple of stubbies, so hopefully still seeing him straight.
This is the goal umpire or one of the players?
This is a goal umpire.
Okay. Ruska tried to hunt the ball through that pack, but in the way, can't pick out the number.
Tap from Bornholm with the boundary thrown. That'd be interesting to see what he does here.
Clayton Cameron.
I need to try and open that up a little bit at the restart here. There's too many players around the ball.
They're just trying to hold Benison away from Somerton again here, and Somerton sort of drifted out the back.
Very difficult to get the ball away with probably 12, 15 players in and around the ball, and every other player camped in the back third of the ground.
Doesn't make for great footy to watch, Jacko, does it?
No, South Gawler, if they can get the ball out, they might be okay. But
well, South won a clearance because Osborne lurking in the centre. Choosing the outside
Paddy
of the boot
White again.
was Carnelli and Paddy White again in the right place. Point of the square.
He's just going to kick long here. As Osborne
going to come
should
out
make
this
a play,
side.
I would have thought.
That's what they needed to do. Try and run the ball out of there. Much better. That's better. Over the top, number 2.
White's kick into the breeze. Whit was in
Ben
front.
Washington.
Oh, over
Ben
the top
Washington now. Can he run onto it?
Paprotny there. He's got the ball. He's held up in the tackle. And it'll be ball up half forward. Well done from South the way they ran that ball out.
Yeah, nice transfer of play from the full back line to the centre half forward into the breeze. It's what they need to take a risk, and we got a good result.
Probably their 2 best players there for the day as well in Costanzo and White. So good to see those boys taking control, I think. There's Washington for South. Berry's in under Smilesy there, Jack Miles. So we'll have a ball up at centre half forward for South Gawler. It'll be Osborne and Bornholm. Osborne gets the tap down to Costanzo standing out the back. A beautiful kick inside 50 to Whitwer. And Whitwer will have a shot on goal. Those 2 boys, I reckon, have looked for each other all day, Jacko.
Yeah, well, I'm really impressed with Big Osborne's ruck work there. Out the back was nice.
And Freeling have kicked the first 2 goals of the quarter at Freeling Oval.
Wow.
Kicks this, and they'll be down by only
4 points. 5 points.
5 points.
5 points.
Just testing the mathematicians amongst us, and it's fair to say there's road scholars. Neither of you are.
No.
Josh Whitwer, 45-degree angle.
Noted goal kicker.
It's a beautiful kick. No problems there. Game on, ladies and gentlemen. Game on. That's what we wanted. First goal to South Gawler.
That's Josh's first goal for the club.
Is that right?
That'll be it.
Kicked a couple of points in the first quarter, but yeah, some nice ruck work. But more importantly, the goal there was set up from the risk the lad took in the back line where we
Paddy White.
Yeah, weren't able to transfer the ball out of the back 50 for a couple of minutes there, South Gawler, and then Paddy White took it on himself to try and run and gun, and as a result they were able to get the ball to centre half forward and then set the goal up from the ruck clearance. So good footy all round by South Gawler.
It's the restart.
Sorry, Jamo.
That's all right. Hudson's still in there. He gets the tap. Ball should be held up and we should get another bounce.
This is where you want your money men to step up. The guys who are getting paid the big bucks, you want them to stand up now when the game's close. This is where your leaders and experienced players. It's going to be interesting to see who takes the game on the next 5 minutes.
Got over the ball twice there. Argent with a nice handball out to Shannon.
You've got to find a target though.
Going to go direct inside 50.
Yep.
Judd Smith comes across, can't take the mark. Cannelly.
Yeah,
Handball
Cannelly
off to
onto
Peck.
Peck.
Peck will run into a goal. Oh, and he's hit the post. He's hit the inside of the post.
Darcy
really
Judd Smith, a drop mark was almost killed poor South Gawler, luckily.
He plays in my cricket team. He's the best fielder, one of the best fielders in the association. So the fact that he's dropped that mark is very unlike him.
Okay.
Oh, over the line.
Ask them to change over to a smaller red ball, you think?
Yeah, exactly right, I reckon.
South unable to relieve the pressure on themselves by kicking the ball out on the full. And Paprotny from where he was before. It's outside the 50 though, a bit longer. All the players back in the centre circle now. All he can do is load it up.
Hot spot, Hudson.
Big fly by Bornholm. Sock off the ground by Peck. Off the line, Peck again gets a handball into, is it
Summerton down there? He goes to Tuckwell.
Tuckwell into Hood. Hood's kick into the man. Now the South will clear.
Nice clearing kick, but no one up there across the half or across the centre line.
Kicked that, and he's either gone down with cramp.
I think he
kicked
the ground.
So Jake Hood with the ball just inside the centre square for Angaston, and it's going to come back quick. Goes across, and a big lead, big strong lead there from right Eberhard. He looks to go
play
quickly.
on.
No, he's got to kick
but
it.
He'll go back now. He's going to kick from outside 50, but
that's his job.
Shown anything, he'll give it a good old roost.
This is for goal number 3 or 4, is it, for the day?
This is 4-3.
3.
4-3, or this is his third goal?
This will be the
He's
third
kicked 4-3 or 3-4?
No, he's kicked. This will be for number 3.
Freudian.
He's kicked 1 point.
Wheels around
too
on the
close
right
to the
foot.
man on the mark, but he's
the
nailed it. I could hear his dad there saying, too close to the man on the mark, you idiot. and he's nailed it.
I was wondering, I haven't seen Slippery yet today. So
Slips up there in the den, keeping the peace.
Yeah. Closest to the bar, I would have thought.
Probably the leading goal kicker on the ground with 3, I would have thought.
He would be. It'd be him with 3, Osborne with 2.
Yep.
A couple of multiples to a few others as well.
We promise you next week that we'll record
Hudson's
them.
still there.
Some stats. Get a statistician in.
Brody Hudson's still there, and
Brody
Osborne
signalling to the
still
bench
staying
again.
up forward
Not
against
sure
the
what's
wind.
going on there.
That might be his on-cooked call, but they get the clearance. Golding takes a bounce through the middle, just not sure what he was doing there. Just
I think he
sort of
nice
going
kick.
thought he was
slowly,
going to
but
get tackled.
beautiful kick to Whitwer. Whitwer will line up again.
This is probably for his second, I guess, for the day.
Yeah, I was just having a look. It actually looks like I might have missed one of Whitwer's early. This might be for number 3 as well.
Okay.
4-3 or 3-4?
No, they're points.
Oh, there you go. No, this will be the second.
Oh, back
Very
him in.
deliberate in his action. Love the way he holds the ball over his right leg. Nice drop.
Got it.
That's goal.
Got the distance.
Yep,
He's kicked
right
it.
through the middle diddle.
And a big
9.5 minutes in, and it's anyone's game.
big celebration to the crowd as well. It's good, very good feeling kicking a goal from that end of the oval where you got the majority of the spectators, and when you play against them, most of them are giving it to you. Especially last year, I kicked one from down there and was absolutely copping it. The
But
whole
yeah,
time.
popular here.
Yeah,
They're popular everywhere.
it was love-hate. 6 months of the year they love me. 6 months of the year they hate me. So
Well, you shouldn't play sport at
Shannon-
2 different clubs.
Yeah,
Shannon Rusker Tuckle
Got to play at one club.
in the square for
that's how you got to get your name out there.
You can't play footy at Gawler Central when you play your cricket at South Gawler.
I just picked the best of both
Rusker.
worlds.
Rusker out of the centre of the ground.
Very
Beautiful,
good.
a nice kick.
Best on
Eberhard.
ground today, Rusker?
Finds Eberhard again. Look, he's certainly in contention if we're giving
Slowed
a
up a little bit.
Samsung Player of the Day. He's making his way to the interchange bench and looks a little bit sore, actually.
Just looks like the way he's
Been
running,
very
looks
good.
like a bit of cramp. This might be starting to set in.
Yep. Ryan Eberhard for goal number 4. Making his way just inside 50, maybe outside 50. He's let it go. He's let it go.
No.
That's a
Got
goal.
it.
Very good young
That's it.
talent rider.
Jamo breathes a sigh of release as that 12-point margin comes out again.
Not sure I've ever heard that name Ryder before. Is it?
Paddy Ryder? Or?
Yeah, you know,
Ryder
Paddy
Haggard.
Ryder, was he?
Ryder Haggard.
Ryder Haggard.
Yeah. Rode King Solomon's Mines.
Right,
before
okay.
your time.
That's what he was named after.
Yeah.
It was conceived during
Not sure
a viewing
why,
of
yeah.
King Solomon's Mines, which is terrific.
Right.
At interval, hopefully.
Now Osborne in the ruck.
Yep, Skipper put himself.
Costanzo
Captain
in the
back
square
ruck.
with South.
Brody did look a little bit cooked and
Patrick
Mark
White in
Wong.
the square.
All the big names, that's
All
for
the
sure.
big names
Press
in the square.
takes it, but left it behind. Osborne follows up his work with the tackle. Scrappy ball, Barch is over it. He gets a quick kick away, Barch does, but Miles looks like, big hit
that's a
between
hit of
Press
the
and
day.
Miles. And Costanzo's going to run through, pick up the foot. He goes long.
Whitwer.
Push under the ball. Good
Kept the
defensive
ball in
work.
beautifully.
Tommy Ryan's going to take it out of
favourite
defence,
boy.
Rango.
Good defensive work for
But
Angaston.
only as
interception.
far as Jackson Dare.
That's his first mistake for the day, and it's a pretty big one.
Tough kick from out there. They're kicking into the breeze a little bit.
Yeah, he
Whatever
kicked
breeze
one
there
from
is.
here. Kicked one from here earlier. So hopefully
He's
he can
got
do
his
it again.
bearings then.
Yeah, he'll be very happy. I asked him, Jacko, what his best bet was before the
Jacko's-
race.
Jamo saying miss.
He said Santa Ana Lane in the TJ, and Santa Ana Lane won. I didn't follow him, so I'm
He's,
spewing, but
he's
he'll be happy.
offline to the near side, and
Kicked it a
Three
bit
for a
thin.
point.
Did it hold up or
11
did it
points
swing?
the margin now.
Just held up.
Tommy Ryan kicking the ball in. I'll bet you he's thinking, I hope I kicked this a bit better than the last one on the left
Well,
foot. Raking left foot too.
Hopefully he doesn't
outside
find
50.
Jackson Dare again. But Angaston with numbers behind the ball there. Able to patrol it down the wing. Should have taken the mark, but
Drop what he should have taken.
the boundary line is thy friend, and that was Eberhard a long way out from the goal front.
Well, 13 minutes in, Jamo. About 15 to play.
Comes a long way up the ground, Ryder, doesn't he? Not playing the true traditional full forward role.
No.
See, they got Somerton as their deepest player.
Kapunda 16 points
I
ahead.
think it's a good move.
Kapunda
Shakes it
now
up,
moves
yeah,
16 points ahead of
give
your
him something
side,
to think
90.
about.
Released was Hood. Hood fires it across half forward.
Everhard again.
Everhard's got
Yeah,
Bornholm waiting.
Oh!
Doesn't take the mark.
Thought he
That's a
took
free
his
kick.
legs. Yeah,
That's a
took
free
his
kick
legs.
all day, every
But
day.
Angaston
Tunnel
managed to
Hammond
keep it in.
bounced it and left it behind.
Yep. Well, the turf's pretty soft and the ball's not going to
Tunneling,
bounce
Jacko? I would've
Yeah,
thought.
absolutely tunnelling. But as I said,
across the line.
one thing I've noticed, the umpires certainly let the game go a little bit up here, so
Yeah.
they're consistent with that.
Yeah, I don't know if it's on purpose, but they do.
A couple of years ago, we noticed that. We just thought they let it go. I don't mind it.
Yep.
Nah, there's nothing wrong with it. Nothing
It's better
too
than
bad.
picking out all the little ones like they do in the AFL.
Nothing
Exactly.
wrong with it other than some poor bloke just got tunnelled and could have won the game for his team, and now he's going to go
Yeah,
and
well,
jump
it's a-
instead of a champ.
It's a newish interpretation,
Oh,
so perhaps that hasn't
Paddy
got
wa-
up as well.
Right.
Paddy White, the aggressor's just showing his...
Whack Shannon, has he?
Just giving Tuckwell a little bit on the outside.
Right.
But the good thing is that their interpretation hasn't changed all game. They've let it go all game.
Nah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good kick. It's a good kick
wow.
into Reinke, I reckon.
Yep.
Very,
And into
very
the
good kick.
into the corridor, and both the key forwards were there, so that's your percentages, isn't it?
Yeah, and a beautiful little kick in from one of my favourite Angaston players in Jaden Anthony as well. So
Really impressed the way the Angaston boys have interchanged and come off the ground with some real speed.
Yeah, I had a look at the rotation before the game. My head's still spinning.
Yep. No, they've been very disciplined with it.
Helps having the 22 on the as well with the 4 on the interchange, being able to rotate.
Reinke kicks another one for Angaston.
Oh, it's goal for goal at the moment.
The two tall forwards for Angaston are causing a bit of grief at the moment for South Gawler, aren't they? Reinke and Eberhard. Just having a bit of trouble controlling them.
We've gone 15 minutes and 20 seconds into this final term, and it's Angaston 12-13-85, South Gawler 10-8-68. 17 points now, and it's starting to stretch out. Jumbo's looking happy.
Pushed
Oh,
another
no,
one,
it's not
Angus
over.
Adams
Like
back
fat
onto the
lady-
ground, deep forward. Get
fat
out,
lady
leave
has
someone
been-
with some room.
Yeah, leave
Samo's
one
pushed-
outside forward.
Samo's pushed him out, get out of my space, give me the whole forward 50.
One of the
I'll
key
turn the
things
show on.
for South, they kept Andrew Peck out of the game. Now he's a bloke who kicks 2 or 3 goals every
Want him
game.
as far away as possible, wouldn't you?
So I'm not sure who picked him up, but he's off the ground now.
It'd make you a nervous coach seeing him out down there on his own.
The funny thing is, I heard him. I heard the instruction to him as he's running on the ground. Get deep forward, and he started to go deep forward, and Samo said, "Get deep out."
They found a free kick. It's going South Gawler as well. Go to
Osborne. I
Osborne.
think he was held in the contest.
Sounds like I think this was a preconceived idea from their coaching staff, maybe to shake the tag, Jacko.
Oh, good idea, mate. Absolutely good coaching.
We'll have a ball up at centre half forward for South. They've got a score here.
Having said that, it's Malcolm McGrath Cup today, but I haven't seen him here. Has anyone seen him here?
Malcolm's in Sydney.
He's in Sydney.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, he messaged us on Facebook earlier.
Right.
Osborne takes a mark, goes to Dare. Dare goes it long inside. Pack mark, spoiled, presses at the front of it, snaps, but Tommy Ryan again, excellent work with the smother. He'll follow up his own work here.
He's had a good game.
Very, very
Ryan,
good game.
terrific player.
Very reliable and composed under pressure.
There's a ball up inside South's 50, about 35, 40 out. Hot footy at the moment.
Modern player, doesn't pick anyone up either, Tommy Ryan. Just does his own thing back there.
That's what it's
Well,
all
most
about.
sides don't play with a forward pocket either, so
As Angaston get a clearing kick long, but Osborne, he'll just slot back and take the mark on the wing. He goes
lovely
quick.
looking kick.
Goes quick, but it's
It's
all Angaston
Archie.
there. Archie's
Caught.
been tackled.
Oh, good.
Got his handball away. Hood's
That's Hood.
been
Oh, it's on the
tackled.
ball, Umpy.
That'd be
Come
holding.
on.
It hasn't been called, so it's play on.
Okay.
Bit of backspin there on that chip from Miles. Worked the advantage of Angaston.
And Carnelli, who was great in the first half, he's got a paddock here. Take the ruckman on. He goes inside 50.
That's
Samo
what
over
we're
the back.
talking about, ladies and
goes
gentlemen.
step.
Samo.
He's going to
And
roll
here
it
we
on
go.
an
Watch
open
the
goal
bounce.
here.
Worked him under the footy, didn't he? Just too smart.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know Henry Benison's history, but to me he looks like a young kid who might have a good tank, and that's why he's playing the role of tagger. But I think the coaching staff need to consider whether he's able to combat a player one-on-one with that experience, given the front 30. So
Well, he turns into a defender now, doesn't he? He's not a tagger.
Yeah, exactly.
maybe something to think about for the next time they play. If he goes back one deep, might be a better matchup.
He just got pushed out too. It was like he just used the experience in somebody, and he pushed him under the footy.
Yep.
Gained 20 metres, rolled into an open goal, a couple of bounces.
Yep. And now thrown himself back on the ball.
Yeah, but South do have to kick goals, and they've got a chance their arm.
Yeah, no,
they can't go defensive.
I thought Benison done a pretty good job on him up around the footy, but going one out to the square, it's a completely different story. Starting to get the switch on that last line of defence.
Young kid, is he?
Yeah, so I don't actually know him from a bar of soap. So
do some more homework next time.
Yeah, I will. Sorry, mate. He looks only young, so
he's probably old enough to drink if you don't know him.
Would that very be the case? Very good shout, Jamo. I've put myself on a drinking ban at the moment.
Well, that'll set
Brock Judd Smith.
Actually, you should put
two dads.
That transfer play has not worked.
And Jay Shannon
read that.
Not the greatest switch.
No. Jay Shannon a chance to ice the game for Angaston, and going to be very hard to peg back if he can get it. He's taking his time.
19 and a half minutes into this final term.
Yeah. It's not over. We had nearly a 30-minute term, second
20, not 23. Conceding that's over yet.
Be 29 points he scores this, and that will be the game.
Yep. We can head to the bar.
Well,
and
I hope
good
you're
night,
right
Nick.
there, Luke.
Frothy. Absolutely. I said I'm on a drinking ban.
That's
I asked for Frothy not long ago, and it hasn't arrived yet.
Left to right, is it? If you kick right-legged?
Yeah.
Oh! It's a shocker from the coach. And probably the best second.
That's the second best result. Throw in. Next to the point post.
Oh, well, at least it's in their forward line.
That's it. How long we got? We got 20 minutes gone, so we'll be slipping into time on.
Yeah, not a lot of scores either, so probably 28, 29 minutes.
With a snap around the body and had as much effect as his deliberate shot for goal. And the same result. A ball in, tight in the forward pocket for Angaston.
Looking at both teams today, they're certainly shown that they're both going to be right up there this year. So I think, it's been a good game of footy.
And they'll be partying at the town hall tonight, Jomo, in Angaston.
No, we've got a Gawler sponsor. We've got a Gawler sponsor, so we'll be at the Exchange.
Oh, at Damien's pub. Yeah,
what
very good man.
What a lovely place the Exchange is.
Yeah, the spicy chicken wings are superb.
This year on a Wednesday night. We'll explain more at a later date.
Okay.
No, it's a great spot on a Friday night. Got in trouble from the coach of cricket a few times for being out on a Friday night. Very good.
Sensational pub. So a big shout out to the Damien McGee at the Exchange Hotel in Gawler, right in the middle of Gawler.
Great tipping competition too.
Magnificent pub.
It's fantastic. Friday night. It's like going to the city, like a nightclub. So
big rooftop bar and.
There's a lot of cramp I'm noticing in this late stage of the game. A few boys grabbing at calves and
big hit right in front of us. Brody Hudson on Tommy Ryan. Both players bounce back, straight back up though.
No fuss type of operator Tommy is. So.
And they're the major sponsor at Williston. Any other pubs out there who sponsor the clubs? Or?
They also sponsor Gawler Central's the Exchange now as well. So they've come on this year. They do a lot of sponsorship.
They'd be the biggest pub in Gawler, wouldn't they now?
I don't know. You got them. You got the Kingsfords also. Quite
Kingsford's
a popular
got the TAB.
Yeah. That's why they're trying to stay away from that TAB. There's some very good pubs in Gawler.
The Vine Inn's also a ripper, but that's not in Gawler,
The Vine Inn up at Newry, yep. Done some Mad Mondays up there. That's a good spot.
Game sort of, maybe this is South's last few seconds.
I reckon you're pretty comfortable now, Jamo, I reckon. But it's been
all up to Patrick White.
Paddy White put it on his shoulders. He'll be happy with that as well.
That's Kennelly again, reading it off of Osborne's tap into the forward pocket.
I'd like to see him have a shot
sure
for goal there. Inside 50.
Probably not greedy enough.
Costanzo,
he's caught.
Oh, he's got
that's tough. That is
very
tough.
quick on the whistle. But very good job. Carnelli,
Well, we'll have a shot on goal now.
he's been impressive, Carnelli, today.
He has. So
If this is a
first year
goal,
at the
that
club.
will do it.
Junior that's been down at Central Districts for a number of years, Jamo.
Yeah, 4 years, I'd say.
4
yeah.
years, okay. Played any senior footy or
Only reserves.
Yep. Okay.
Year and a half of reserves. Got his first reserves game when he was still eligible for under 18s.
Been terrific today.
Yep. Oh, very clever. Great pace and knows where the action is, where the ball's going. But it's missed that, but that makes it
24
exactly
points.
24 points.
4
So
goals.
my draw might be on.
maybe a 1 goal a minute
Yeah.
to get up from here, South Gawler.
We're approaching 24 minutes gone this final term, Jamo. I think you're safe.
Back on the field.
Whitworth
Here's
taking the
Whitworth
ball
bringing
out.
it out. Drives it up the line. Blinkon can't bring it in for Angaston.
all
Miles
Angaston
is
here.
there.
The
Miles
skipper-
chip finds Holmes. Holmes across half forward. Plays on, kicks across half forward.
Beautiful kick.
Kennelly's
Stands
by
open.
himself in the
There
forward
he is
pocket,
again.
and he gets another
Beautiful
shot on
kick.
goal, and this is the sealer. Any
Ryan
score here will probably definitely seal it.
The skipper as well, Jack Miles, along with Tom Ryan off half-back, Jamo, they've been exceptional today.
Yeah, Miles have been good.
That's his posse.
Loves
Ball
it
in
down
front
there.
of him. Yeah.
He's really come on since taking the captaincy role. Looks like he's put on a bit of size as well.
And the boy with the blue boots, Ryan Carnelli puts the final nail in the
Seals
coffin. And as the skipper, Captain Coach makes his way to the interchange bench, ready to celebrate his first win as coach.
Well, we're just on 25 minutes gone this final term. Angaston 14-14, 98 lead South Gawler 10-8, 68, and the fat lady is on the stage, and it's a 30-point margin, and the game is over.
5 goals, it probably hasn't been a true reflection of the game. Actually, a little bit stiff in some respects, South Gawler. I think probably a
It has-
3-goal
yeah.
margin might have been.
Hasn't played at one end, though.
10 extra
which is
scoring
probably
shots, Jacko?
Yes.
It's more so been the end of the ground and who's taken more opportunities at that end,
yeah.
really.
Yep.
But you know, like it is a breeze, and you can score against the breeze. But here we go. It's
Only early
Boreham.
days, eh?
Brody
First
Hudson,
game
I
of the
think,
season.
worked pretty hard in the ruck against Boreham. That's been a good effort.
Oh,
An area there.
Jackson
Try
press.
to make it out of midair. He
And
goes
he's got
down,
it
he
this
gets this
time.
one.
Miles in front can't bring it in. Ball at the base of the pack. In there is looks like
Being held. Oh,
held
he
in.
had the
on
whistle.
here.
But
Throw.
another good throw.
Too quick for the
Umpire,
umpire.
umpire didn't see that.
Not only was the throw, it was forward.
The umpire was directly behind him. He had no chance of seeing that.
There's another one out here.
Joshy Witts with a shot on goal that's gone across the face, and Angaston should probably bring it out the other side. The South's pressure there pretty good, and it looks like Nathan Barch has got him holding the ball. That'll be throw. Incorrect disposal by the looks. Nathan Barch, old chicken legs. He's had 3 broken legs.
Has he?
Yeah, mate.
I knew he's had a bit of injury.
Yeah, he at a young age played league footy down at Central Districts, got a game, and since then it's just been riddled with that leg injury. So good to see him playing footy. He kicks that one across the face.
Debuted at a pretty early age here, if I remember correctly, too. Like 16 or so.
Yeah, he would have been probably around the similar time to when Travie Head come out and probably played his first A-grade game, about that 16-year-old mark.
Tom Ryan brings it in. Looks like Craig Harvey in the forward pocket, back pocket.
Been pretty solid today, Harvey, hasn't he?
Yeah, he'll just steady it up, the young fella. And there's a siren, and
Yeah. Pretty happy the Angaston crowd here today. It's been a long time between drinks and all the hype about them.
last year we started off the season with a good win.
Oh,
That
okay.
was it.
I think you
One and
got.
only, wasn't
One
it?
and only.
I think you got a lot better side this year.
Yeah, I think it won't happen this year.
Yeah. Well, it's
Anyway,
been a long
blokes.
time between drinks, hasn't
Yeah.
it? 12 months, so I'm sure you might have
And
2
being
beers.
being the president, all the
2
heat on you,
beers,
mate.
Jamo.
Yeah.
Yeah, easy job. I better blow away, mate. And,
Enjoy
Thank you
the
very
song,
much
mate.
for your time.
Thanks for that.
Go and sing
and,
the song,
well
Jamo.
done once again, Luke, on bringing this to the BLG.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Fantastic.
You were great last year in the grand final, and yeah, thank you very much again today. Wonderful.
No worries. Thank you. See you later,
Thank you.
gents.
It's been good today in terms of having Matty Knight and Jamo, because they've given us that real Barossa flair and that inside knowledge that's been fantastic. So, yeah, thank you, gentlemen.
No, it's been good fun, boys. I'm looking forward to the year ahead, Jacko, and it should be got a couple of good games coming up, that's for sure.
Oh, the professional operator Knight's, isn't he?
So
Professional operator.
And I like what the Bros have done. They were going to do it a month. Now they've only programmed the game 6 weeks in advance, so they're going to try to do it around cup games, those rival type matches, and who's top of the ladder. So they're going to try to get what they think is one of the better matches of the round, rather than 8v9.
As it should as well. That's a really good thing. It'd be good to get some scores from around the grounds. It looked like Kapunda were started to kick away from Gawler Centrals towards the end there.
Bit of a show, although Kapunda at home are hard to beat.
Kapunda, you bring in blokes like they brought in Stent from Teacher Gully.
Yeah, they're all out there.
Hoggard as well. So both teams had brought in some recruits.
There's some hell of a good players come into this Barossa comp this year.
This will be, I said it the other day, this will be probably the strongest that we've seen the comp in a long time, or certainly in my time anyway. So we're going to have, it's a good time for us to come in and start covering the footy each week, and we'll have some bloody good games.
Sean's actually coached Stent in the state sides for the amateurs.
He's a good player.
Very good player.
The best part about him is he can play in a lot of different spots. So I don't know.
He's got a big engine.
I don't know where they'll use him up there, but he's certainly.
And talking to Kapunda, they were looking at Hoggard. I think was going to play more on ball.
Oh, he's half back. He played at Gullies. He's a junkyard dog. He's a real hard unit.
Yeah, right. And Stent was actually playing centre half forward today. So
yeah, well, that's where he played when he first went to Teacher Gully.
He's a wingman at Gullies.
And you want him. You want centre half. He'll try his guts out there, but he's better suited.
Hard
I think.
Spot to play centre half forward as well, especially
better
in this
suited as a wingman who can run and good in the air. But I guess if you've got a small side, you got to play where you're told to play.
He was brilliant on the wing for Gullies, because we commentated a lot of division and from Gullies ground, so we got to know Gullies pretty well. And he was really good there. And Hogarth was exceptional across halfback. As I said, his nickname out there was a junkyard dog, and he plays a bit like that. Played at Norwood, very, very good player. Yeah.
Yes, see, we talk about Angaston. They probably haven't had much success, over in recent times or over the years, and you just see as the boys walk off the oval, all the people gathering around.
Means
them
a bit to them, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely it does.
Yep.
It's been a long time coming for them, so it's good to see a team like that have been at the bottom for so long now.
And a bit of expectation now with Anne, because also we learnt today. They've only used, and everyone's talking about their recruits, but we've learnt from Gemma they've only used 12 of their 15 points, so they haven't actually topped up.
Yeah, so
a lot of returning juniors.
Yes, speaking 0 pointers are huge. Ruska's a 0 pointer. Eberhard's a 0 pointer. Carnell's a 0 pointer. Yeah. And that's what you got to do is you got to go and get those 0 pointers.
All those juniors.
Otherwise, if you don't have them, you're buggered essentially. Your points players can only do so much. So
how many of them are new this year?
Their list there. Their list there. They'd probably have to the A grade. They'd be. To that side, they've probably got at least 7 or 8 new players playing there, and a new coach coming in as well. It probably gives a few blokes a bit of a lease on life as well.
Absolutely, yep.
Blokes like there's a few blokes in here that when they've been not as good that have played a lot of reserves football. Blokes like Jake Hood, who was really good today.
Yeah, he was good.
Jaden Anthony, who was good off halfback today. And blokes like Tuckwell and Parker and that. They're blokes that I've been playing footy against in reserves for years. So for them now to be playing A-grade footy in a good team, it shows that new coach and that coming in to probably put something in them and really rejuvenate them.
Yeah, you'll find there'll be some players at Angaston that might have struggled a bit in the past in a poor side, but put them in a good side, they can play good footy. So it doesn't necessarily mean that just because you haven't played well in the past, you can't establish yourself as A-grade player. But
no, I was really better players around them.
Yeah, I was really impressed with the back line. The Jack Miles and Tommy Ryan across the half back line looked like, very tough to get through. They organised the defence really well. And that's, as a coach, new bloke coming in, I reckon he would have been extremely happy with the blokes back there. And if that's BL&G footy, I was impressed with the first game that I've seen and look forward to covering a few more games.
Yeah, well, you give us the best players and the goal kickers from Ango and Jacko from South Gawler, maybe.
Oh,
God, I don't have the goal kickers in front of me, but your best players for Ango, I think definitely Tom Ryan and Steve Rusker were two of their best.
Yep.
Angaston, along with Ryan Carnelli, was very impressive, and young Eberhard, the forward, who kicked 3 or 4 as well. So very impressive. Good to see the coach and Jay Shannon getting on the end of a couple, and Somerton as well. So
Yeah, Blinker on in the back half was good and solid all day.
yeah, and you know, you throw Miles into that as well. The skipper
Tuckwell did a
he
few
was
good things.
Yeah, they
he was quite good.
across the board, I think they were a pretty good team effort, and they'll be pretty happy on the park this week. But yeah, I thought Tommy Ryan off half back was probably the best on for him.
Yeah, Rusker was outstanding. I thought
His first half was really good.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
he was. You're right. He did drop away a little bit.
Probably got a bit more attention as well.
Good coaching though from the bench at Angaston in terms of they could see that some of them they were just double tagging him, so they moved him to full forward. And I reckon they obviously preordained that move and worked well.
Going to be able to fit Mullet back in next week. Coming back from Sydney, want to push his way back into the bench, but a successful side and well coached might mean he has to come back through the twos, Mullet. For South Gawler, don't have the goal kickers, but the guys that impressed me a little bit, I thought Costanzo was really good,
Yeah.
worked hard all day. I thought young Henry Benison, once again, I'm not sure of his age, but he looks like a kid. I thought he tried hard all day
And he looks about 19, doesn't he?
Yeah, on a quality player, and Steve Summerton, I thought he did a pretty reasonable job.
Some of them never really got off the leash, did he?
No, Jack Osborne competed, in his first game as captain coach. I thought the two of them, him and Brodie Hudson, teamed up really well.
Hudson was looked a lot more mobile than last time I saw him.
Yep. Jackson Press had some really good moments. His first quarter was fantastic. The start of the third was good. Fell out of the game at bits and pieces, but might be the fact that he's training different environment now. He's training at the Crows, and that may have had some impact. But bloke I haven't seen before, Patrick White, was pretty impressive.
Yeah, he was solid, wasn't he?
Looks like the barometer of the side. A guy who's got a bit of energy and celebrates.
That sums Paddy down to a T. I think when the boys heard that he was coming back, you wouldn't see the group more excited. So he's one of my good mates, Paddy, but a very good footballer.
Yep, and Josh Whitwer, I should say, certainly had his moments as well. And
bit of X factor, isn't he?
Yeah, kicked a couple of goals, got at least 2, maybe 3 goals, and looked pretty determined to play good footy. So, yeah, I think there's a lot to like from both sides, particularly Angaston from where they've come from, but South Gawler equally have got a lot to look forward to this year as well, I think.
Yeah, they'll be I reckon they'll both play finals this year.
Okay.
Both good enough to play finals.
Right.
Even looking at some of the other results already, I don't know a score on Freeling Barossa, but the fact that was tight is probably really good for Freeling. A bit concerning for Barossa, but no, I think it's going to be probably the most even competition across the board.
Righto, Nigel. Well, let's put you on the spot, mate. You're the local man with all the knowledge. Give us the top 5 in order from the top.
In order, I think Newry still's got to be number 1. Last year's premiership, they haven't lost anyone at all.
Their fullback.
Their fullback.
Goggle.
Gogle's gone, has he?
Yeah, so that's
retired.
through retirement. So I'm talking. You got your Rakawasa brothers, Baldwin. They're big time players. They're all still there.
Yep.
Tanunda number 2 again.
They look like the side who could challenge again.
Among Coach Turlich and with Kurtz.
He's
and
high quality
McFarlane
Turlich, isn't he?
Yeah, and they've added more again this year with a couple of 0-pointers coming back.
Played a lot of AFL footy, didn't he? What, about 100
He
odd
did.
games?
Probably not 100. He would have played a little less. He probably played more about 50-60 mark, I reckon. But
that's still AFL footy,
it's,
it's
still a good standard of footy. I put Angaston in 3rd.
Yep.
And they probably could go higher as well. But leave them in 3rd at the moment. They were very impressive
Barossa
today.
District, you reckon drop off a little bit?
I reckon Barossa will fall out of the 8. I reckon you'll have probably. I'll tip South to finish 4th, just
South
behind
Gawler.
Angaston.
Right,
I reckon
okay.
they'll finish 4th, and then who am I
Gawler
forgetting?
Central?
Kapunda?
Yeah, then you probably races on for that 5th spot between Kapunda, Gawler Centrals, and Barossa is what I would have had to start with.
And difficult for Williston starting 2 games behind everyone else.
Williston are 2 games behind as well, and first 2 games they play Tanunda this week, Newry next week. So your best 2 sides in the comp. So
They've got a tough draw.
They're going to be 8 points behind, I would think, before the season really gets into it.
In round 3, yeah.
Freeling, any case for how'd they go today, Freeling? In the end?
So they were actually up against Barossa. So I don't know a final
point
score
at three-quarter time.
Yeah, so I don't know a final score there, but I think they'll probably finish just above Willis and Freeling. It would be my guess. But I think the beauty of going back to that 5-team final is that we said there's probably 3 teams: Gawler Central, Kapunda, Barossa, who are all vying for that 5th spot. I know Kapunda had a few injuries today, so I don't know if that was to major players or whatnot. And Gawler Central's a couple of our recruits. We've got Sean Baker, who from Broadview.
Breaks, yes.
So through his SANFL commitments and work commitments, we don't have him hardly for the first half of the year, and then we have him all the second half.
The big fella who just always gets injured as well.
Joe Botton.
Joey Botton.
Yeah, we got him, so hopefully he's gotten through the first game unscathed.
Did he play today, did he?
Fingers crossed, he did play.
He's due for some good luck, Big Joe. He's a good lad.
He's been a ripper fella to have around the club, and bakes his energy around the club. I know the boys, he's probably turned into our Paddy White, essentially. So,
see if you can get him drunk. He doesn't like a drink.
No, have a look at his rig. Yeah, I drink 1,000 beers. He doesn't drink any, and the 2 rigs probably say that.
Here's one that's come in from our cameraman. As Kapunda 16-11 defeated Gawler Central 10-12. So we've got that 35-point margin to Kapunda.
Yeah, so they've kicked away there at the end.
Yeah.
It was quite a tight game before that, so no doubt I'll find out tonight what's going on there, and we'll see how they bounce back against Freeling next week.
Well, that's a wrap, fellas. Next week we're at the dog track. We've got Gawler Central and Freeling from the dog track. See you at 2 o'clock for a 2:20 start next week.
Thanks.
Thank you.